Ready? Play.
Hello, everyone in the Talking Tennis community and beyond. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you're listening and watching from. My name is Miles David, and we are here to have a little bit of an interesting first championship Saturday/Sunday of the 2024 tennis tour, because we're covering one match, Coco Gauff versus Elina Svitolina in the ASB Classic in Auckland. And then somewhere in the middle of this matchup, there will be beginning the WTA 500 title championship match in Brisbane between Elena Rybakina and Aryna Sabalenka. So we have a lot to cover today, and I'm happy to be joined by Andre of the Tennis and Bagels podcast. And Andre, how are you doing?
I'm right. I've been feeling a little sick today, but powering through to be here and
Good.
hoping to catch the stream if it ever comes up on the WTA TV
Why did they make it
website.
so hard for us to support?
I don't know. It's a final. Coco Gauff, world number 3. Svitolina, former world number 3. Yeah, no comment.
It should be all over the globe, right?
Yeah, 100%.
But luckily for those that are watching our faces and listening to our voices, they can watch along with us if you have the stream. The players are in the middle of their warm-up, taking serve, so we are just kind of going to set the scene for what could be a very interesting match, I think. Andre, what are you thinking? Large thoughts about this matchup between Svitolina and Coco Gauff?
I mean, I think their head-to-head is very minimal. The only match they've ever played was in 2021 at the Australian Open, which adds at least some context because similar courts, similar conditions.
Right.
This is Auckland, not Australia, but yeah, like 2021 is a very different year. And now Coco Gauff is a Grand Slam champion, and world number 3. Svitolina has slipped down to world number 25, but she's coming back also from the pregnancy and having a child and having a pretty solid season last year after her comeback. I believe she's won a title last year as well.
She won the 250 in Strasbourg ahead of the French Open. Yeah.
So it's a I won't say it's much of a toss-up. Coco Gauff is looking more on fire this week. She barely dropped a set. I don't think she dropped a set. She barely dropped any games, really. She's been pretty dominant, and Svitolina has spent a lot more hours on court, twice as much almost. So yeah, it will depend a little bit on how Svitolina comes out, but I think that the favorite is Coco Gauff for tonight.
I think Coco Gauff is today, wherever you're watching. It's Australian tennis season. Who knows what time zone we're in? This is the easiest part of the season to get lost in the time zone shuffle. But I guess since we have it pulled up, let's look at a little bit of Svitolina's role to the finals. One of the major matches that sticks out to me was a match we watched earlier here on Talking Tennis, earlier in the week, I should say, was between Svitolina and Rybakina, and that was a really, really good match. It had some really, really strong ebbs and flows, and the quality of it was really, really great. Had some great points, but Svitolina was able to kind of weather the storm and physically get through that match, and it didn't get any easier as far as time on court because she did another pretty long match in the semifinals against Wang Jiyu. So she comes in definitely battle tested on the court. She's not unfamiliar with being in WTA finals, and neither is Coco. So it should be a good one.
Yeah, I think as per the WTA website, Svitolina has won a total of 17 WTA singles titles, and Coco has 6. So yeah.
They're both familiar with how it feels to put their hands on some pretty big trophies. So it should be a good one. Plays just getting underway. Coco is first up to serve. Like we mentioned just a couple of seconds ago or minutes ago, the head-to-head on this one is interesting because they've only met one time in 2021. And I don't know about you, Andre, but I forgot about that. I think I said it live on the stream, but I didn't even know that they had played each other until I looked it up and saw that they had played in 2021 and Svitolina got that win.
Yeah, I was actually surprised to see only one. I was expecting actually more matches. I feel like their caliber is too good for this matchup not to happen. I guess like things maybe just didn't go well. Like, I mean, Svitolina was a bit on the downward slope, and Coco Gauff was a bit of the opposite. So it's probably why it didn't happen. They're also 10 years apart.
I was going to mention that part too. There's an age gap.
29. And Coco Gauff, surprisingly, is still only 19, even though she's been a big presence on tennis.
Yeah, it's something that as I've been watching the Tennis Channel coverage this week, it's something they mention every time she hits the court. It's like we have to remember that she's still in the process. Although she has a lot of time and experience on court for such a young person, she's still developing her tennis game, because that just comes with what happens as you matriculate in age as a person, you know? So she's accomplished so much already, especially in that really, really great summer last year. And Svitolina's accomplished a lot too. So, and also the other thing that we haven't talked about is these two really know how to cover a court. Like there shouldn't be a single part of the tennis court that goes untouched in this match if they're both playing well. So it should be an interesting one for sure.
Yeah, they're definitely having some similarities in the playing style. They are more defensive. I think Svitolina's forehand is slightly better, I would say, in general. Well, not slightly, but it's considerably better. But she also doesn't take as many chances as well, which I think was one of the things that Coco has been working on doing, being more aggressive. Serve, I would definitely give that to Coco. I think she can hold serve a lot more easily. She just did, in fact, held to 15. Yeah. But in terms of their return game, I think it's pretty even.
Yeah, I agree. And I agree with the sentiments about the forehand too, because although Svitolina isn't a forehand dominant player in my mind, I still do think that, you know, over pressure comparative to Coco's, her forehand stands up a lot better.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely saw that against Sabalenka last year in the US Open final. That just didn't really break. It was definitely, like, I think one of the things that probably frustrated Sabalenka the most. Of course, it's a different playing style. Sabalenka really likes to try to finish the points, and if it didn't work, we saw basically what happened. But Svitolina strikes me, probably has a little bit more patience in that. She's kind of happy to go on the long rallies. But yeah. Number 1 and 2, which is very interesting as well.
It's interesting, and that's a common thread in the matches that are going on today in Australia, because it's 1 and 2 here in Auckland between Coco and Svitolina, and it's 1 and 2 between Sabalenka and Rybakina in Brisbane. It's also 1 and 2 at the Brisbane ATP tournament with Grigor Dimitrov and Holger Rune. And it's kind of 1 and 2 in Hong Kong. That's the one tournament that's outside of the sphere of Australia. But that's Rublev and Ruusuvuori. And Ruusuvuori isn't number 2 seed, but he beat the number 2 seed to get to that final. So it's an aesthetically nice first championship weekend on the tour, I think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That definitely, like, makes it very interesting. Even though there were some injury scares here and there, a few players already, like, pulling out. Just saw recently Dominic Stricker as well, who played. I think he reached the semifinals in the Next Gen tournament last year. But yeah, in general, I think the trend is upwards, and the top players doing well and playing well. So yeah. Also, Coco Gauff looks like she put up some muscle.
I've been seeing that on Twitter, Andre. A lot of people have noticed it, and I haven't. It hasn't been something that, like, took my breath away when I first saw her. But just from watching like 3 or 4 of her matches, I can see what people are saying. She just looks more filled out. But that goes back to the fact that she's 19, and that's going to happen. You know, like
for sure,
she's legit still growing as a human. So that's cool to see as an athlete. To, like, she's not even at her full form or what her body can produce, and she's already number 3 in the world, Grand Slam champion. You know, like that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Even, like, if you think back to Serena Williams, who everybody always thought that she was very strong, but if you actually look at her first matches, 1999, 2000, she was pretty skinny. So she grew into her own body as time passed by, and I think something similar might happen to Coco. Maybe not, because Coco has a different playing style, obviously, than Serena, so it may advantage her to stay a little bit more lean. So who knows? Who knows what's gonna happen? She's only 19. My gosh.
And then on the flip side of that, you have somebody like Svitolina, who's 29, and it's showing still, like, at that age, there's a different level that you can go to if you push hard enough. Because Svitolina, honestly, in the past 6 months has been the best ball striker or the best version of a ball striker that I've ever seen from her. She's always been a kind of a retriever in my mind, but that semifinal run to Wimbledon last year, the quarters at Roland Garros before that, and a couple other matches I was able to watch during the summer, it's the biggest I've ever seen her hit the ball. And I just never thought that would come from somebody I've been watching since, I mean, we're in 2024. I've been watching Svitolina or known of her since 2015, almost a decade.
Yeah.
And we're getting this like different layer to her, you know?
So what do you think? Svitolina just held also to 15. I think players are filling each other out a bit. I feel like Coco really wanted to go for her returns. Missing on the net on the last one over there. But what do you think is the key here?
To win the match, you mean?
Yeah.
I think it'll be how often Coco can actually put in a 1-2 or a 1-2-3 type of punch, because I think that is what really separates them. If Coco is being patient on the forehand, she can rally with Svitolina if she's having a good day. If she's unfortunately having a bad day, she might have to retweak her. I love that picture that they're showing on Tennis Channel, by the way. The picture of Coco Gauff with like her hands in front of the U.S. Open trophy. That's such a great picture. But yeah, I think if Coco dominates with the serve as much as she can, limits kind of what the game plan is for the last couple of her matches that have kind of started the trendward really upward, is to limit the errors on the forehand, take aggressive cuts on the backhand, use the serve, and use your legs when you have to. So if she does all of those things, I think it'll take a really, really, wow, that was a great backhand from Coco to open up the service game. If she does that, then Svitolina is going to have to play an amazing match to kind of hang with her, I think. But we'll see.
I think I'm a little bit ahead of you because I'm on the WTA TV stream, and which is finally working. So one thing that you'll notice that Coco Gauff double faulted to make it 15-all. And I just looked in here, even though Coco has played fewer games, fewer sets, fewer points, she double faulted 10 times, and Svitolina double faulted only 8. Do you think that double fault's going to be an issue here?
I hope it isn't. I don't get 10 double faults. That was the number for Coco throughout the tournament.
Throughout the tournament, yeah.
And this is her 5th match. I feel like that's a digestible number, and obviously 8 is too for Svitolina. I wouldn't look at any of those numbers and think that it's going to rear a problem in the match. But if anybody does have the serving problem, just based off of history of watching these two players, I think it might be Coco. But 10 going into the final isn't something I'd be worried about, because sometimes they just come, you know, like if you're taking your aggressive cuts on a second serve and trying to place it, sometimes you just, you know, you miss.
It was also only 15 love, so it's not the most impactful point in a game.
Now, if we're at 5-all and we're getting, you know, back-to-back doubles, then we might have to talk about some things.
Yeah, something to keep an eye on, I guess, as the match progresses.
For sure. And also, by the way, since we're talking about, like, you know, potential scores and stuff like that, Coco is on a 9-match win streak at this tournament on these courts. She won it here in 2023. She didn't drop a set en route to that title, and then she hasn't dropped a set en route to this final either. So she's on a nice little comfortable win streak in Auckland.
I believe, I think Juan Ignacio posted that according to the new rules of the WTA, she is also fighting for her right to play this tournament next year. Because according to new rules, she wouldn't be allowed. I think she has 2 exemptions.
Because she's a top 10. Is it a top 20 player rule or top 10 player rule?
I forget. I'm gonna try to reach the tweet that he put up.
I don't necessarily think I love that ruling, just off the bare bones of what it would stop, which is essentially top 10 or maybe top 20 players from entering 250s. But then again, I might be okay with it if what we've been hearing also in tennis media, like the appearance of this super tour, which would kind of exclusively be for the top 50 or 60 or so players, and then 250s and 500s would be kind of like a actual middle ground, and then everything below that would be like the minor league, so to speak. If that happens, then I can see why they would want to keep the 250s for those players ranked like or beginning of the season ranked 30 and below, or something
Yeah.
something along those lines. I can kind of see why they would formulate that, but only if the other thing happens, if the super tour happens and we consistently get like a merger of all the slams and the 1000s, and that be like the elite tour level, and then there be something in the middle. I feel like that's
Yeah.
what they're trying to build. Um,
I
but
mean, as long as
and make it more
if yeah,
cohesive. Yeah.
yeah. In a sense, like I think the tennis structure, the naming was already very important to get rid of like all the premieres and
International and
mandatories and
stuff. Yeah.
international. That was just weird. It took me a long time to get used to it until I realized like that was a premiere 4 and the premiere mandatory or something like that. Premiere 5, I believe.
Too
And now
difficult.
it's all basically the same except the points. I think they just made it so that it is 1,000 for every tournament, but it used to be 900, even though it was a for the WTA 1000s, for example.
Mhm.
But I mean, as long as if they decide to build the super tour or something like that, as long as we can have more accessibility, if the super tour has rights for all the tournaments and everybody can get everything in like in the same platform,
Mhm.
no more confusion. That would be the best deal. Or if only for the Grand Slams. Like honestly, if the Grand Slams, the situation is so dire that in my opinion, I feel like if the Grand Slams got together and decided to build their own streaming platform, that would be already better than what we have, because everything is
Mm.
so scattered. Like you have to watch something on the ESPN, something on in Canada's TSN, and then
Mhm.
Sportsnet, and then you have to buy subscriptions for both. And TSN subscription, even though you get a crap ton of sports, it's still $20 per month.
Yeah,
So it's
nothing
like
is nothing
wow.
nothing is cheap. Nothing
Yeah,
about tennis watching really or playing is
yeah,
necessarily cheap, which is something that I would hope. I mean, I would imagine if you have that many powerful structures, like imagine what they're trying to build, which is the Super Tour, the 4 Grand Slams, and
yeah,
the already combined 1000s, and make it a combination of the Grand Slams plus plus those tournaments being like a set alone elite of the elite tournament. I
yeah,
would hope we can at least get some kind of place where we can watch all of that in one place when those tournaments are happening.
yeah,
Like that would be the 4 Grand Slams plus like maybe 10 or 11 more tournaments that are already huge and take up a lot of the space in tennis. Like,
yeah,
would love to see
yeah.
it, but we'll keep our fingers crossed.
And the other thing that I really don't want to see, like in terms of like if they make a super tour and you sort of have to qualify for the next, or you know,
Mm,
I feel like the problem with that is that if you equate it too much to other leagues, like saying in the Premier Leagues in England, where you have like those divisions, is that those are based on teams. So like if you have a team, it will always exist unless it goes bankrupt. So a
mhm,
player only has limited time on tour. So
mhm,
we would probably lose several stories like a Raducanu winning the US Open as a qualifier, because she would
mhm,
just probably not be able to enter if the rules are that like, so that it's just like there's no qualifying. It's just like the top 128 players go in or something. So yeah, there's something to think about. Like we're dealing with individuals. It's not teams. It's not
yeah.
team-based competition. So
Team-based sports can't
yeah,
always be applicable to what tennis has going on, but I think they can pull some things from it.
yeah.
Like I think there are some things that team sports are doing to thrive that tennis could be doing, but they just
Hmm.
have to be applied a little bit differently because it's an individual sport. That's a good point. Well,
Yeah.
hopefully Auckland doesn't go anywhere because it's actually one of my favorite 250s.
Mm.
I like the fact that there is a separate week that focuses on the women, a separate week that focuses on the men. It
Yep.
still feels like a very I have to double check this, but I hope the prize money is the same. It
Oh,
I
good
wouldn't be
question.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's not,
If it
unfortunately,
isn't, yeah.
but I feel like it should be because they're literally playing in front of the same exact crowd. The sponsors seem very similar, if not the same stadium,
Mm.
same amount of sets being played, best of three. But if it based off of just feeling, not facts, it feels like it's a tournament that prioritizes both women and men's events. So I do like that. That's what I like about it, and it just looks nice on television. The blue courts.
Yeah. Uh, there's obviously comments over here. Every time that we talk about structure, people are going to mention capitalism, things like that. So Gosevich says the Grand Slams like it the way it is. They have no incentive to improve things for fans. I agree, but like I can dream, can I not? I mean, I'm just talking from the perspective of being a fan, from being a like a part-time amateur content creator. I would like to have more accessibility. Of course, like the way things are is good for the people right now. They have the stream of money coming in. They don't really need that much incentive. Things are working, unless they see the need to actually grow. Things are going to be slow. So yeah, it's tough.
It needs to be based off of growth, because I feel like at this point, if somebody's pockets are not loaded in tennis at this point, then what have you been doing? Because if you're in a position to get loaded off of tennis, you should have gotten loaded already.
Yeah.
Now it should be about growing the sport and making sure this global sport actually feels global for everybody. But I guess that's another hill to die on another day. The match is at an interesting point because Coco has created 2 break points in this match. One was already saved from Svitolina, and the second one is coming up at deuce. I might be a little behind if I might be behind you, Andre, and behind listeners or watchers that are on their own stream. But it's an interesting part in the match for sure. Coco could go up 3-1. It looks like she does. She converts.
Yeah, and so it is. Like you'll see, Svitolina is known for her comebacks as well. So everything can still happen still very early. There's a wild miss on the first serve. You're going to see it very soon. But yeah, I do think that Svitolina is going to have to try to take it, at least on the second serve, like put a lot of pressure on it.
So Gauff with the early lead at 3-1.
Prize money doesn't look the same. A shame, but also expected, unfortunately.
Yeah, expected. Disappointed, but not surprised. How about that?
True.
Do you remember what Svitolina's biggest title is?
I know she won Toronto and Montreal twice, but I don't know. I don't think she obviously hasn't won a Grand Slam, but she might have won Indian Wells, I believe. So that would be her biggest title.
I don't remember her winning Montreal. Well, no. I do remember her winning the Canadian Open. I'm just not sure if she did it in both cities. I only remember one because she beat Wozniacki in the final, and I remember that because it was 2017, and like one of the talking points of the year was that Wozniacki couldn't win a final, and she even lost to Svitolina. I remember that.
So let's see here. Singles titles. She won Rome in the WTA finals in 2018.
Yep.
So WTA finals definitely the biggest title she's ever won. Oh, she won it twice even. Oh no, never mind. She was a finalist in 2019, and then
Was Svitolina the finalist in 2019 WTA finals?
Yes, and
Ash Barty beat her.
Who?
Ash Barty beat her in the 2019 WTA finals?
Seems likely.
Yeah, I know Ash Barty won it in Shenzhen that one year, but I didn't know it was Svitolina that got to the final.
Well, I'm going through some hoops here on the website to try to get those information. So let's see.
Are you on the WTA website?
I am. I'm just lazy.
Wikipedia is even better. Trust me.
True.
Which is not great, I guess, but it is what it is. I feel like there's one thing that people don't give tennis fans and content creators enough credit for, which is being resourceful. Because you literally have to be once you get into the weeds of providing tennis commentary and content. You just have to be. Oh, and Wikipedia proved me correct.
It was Ash Barty.
She won the 2018 WTA finals in Singapore, but when it switched to Shenzhen, she lost to Ash Barty in the final. I forgot that. I forgot the loss to Ash Barty. I remember she won it in WTA finals, but I forgot that part. It feels like both of the players have appropriately felt each other out. The points are getting a little bit more extended. Coco just won a really athletic point with a nice touch drop shot that Svitolina got to, but couldn't control.
Yeah. I mean, Coco Gauff is definitely the one on the aggressive side right now. She's the one trying to dictate, and Svitolina is being happy to just like get the balls back. So, yeah. Well, and we're at a tough point right now for Gauff.
Yeah, I don't think she wants to give the break right back after just getting it. I think she wants to walk to this next change of ends up 4-1 instead of up 3-2.
Yeah. I think, how many times did she get broken this week?
I know she got. I shouldn't say I know. I think she got broken against the younger Svitolina sister early on, because I remember watching that match and almost tweeting that Svitolina might be a name we have to start getting used to
Yeah.
pronouncing, because she looked like she was going to really give Coco a test, but it kind of fizzled out like 20 minutes later, and Coco ran away with it. But I think Svitolina broke her early in that first set. So.
Yeah, and if she did, that was one of the only 3 breaks up serves that Coco Gauff suffered during the week, as opposed to 12 from Svitolina.
That's pretty strong. Well, there's 2 break points that Coco is looking directly at, so we'll see what happens here. Hey, Jane. Hey, New Balls, please. Hey, John Reed. Hey, Sean. Hey, Ghosty, all in the chat. Appreciate you guys for being here. Interesting, as Coco is broken right back.
Yeah.
She started off that point to get broken with a soft second serve, and Svitolina has just been on her from the beginning of that point. And she hits a forehand in the middle of the net to get broken. Yeah, so Svitolina strikes back right there. Interesting early stages in the Auckland final. I don't think, I'm looking at my phone, I don't know for sure, but I would imagine the WTA final over in Brisbane is about to be underway, or they should be introducing the players onto the court. Let's double check that.
It should be.
Yeah, it says it is 10:35 here in the States where I am, and looks like they're supposed to get started at 10:40, so they should be walking on the court in a little bit.
I'm trying to get to the draw here and see who they've played in this tournament that we are covering right now.
Yeah. I remember Coco working backwards. She faced Navarro in the semis. In the quarters, I'm lost.
It's Gracheva.
Gracheva, yeah, she made pretty quick work of her. That's why I forgot that. And then
Yeah, 6-1, 6-1.
Svitolina working backwards beat Wang Jiyu in the semis, and in the quarters she beat Bushkova, didn't she?
Yeah.
6-love, 6-3 against Bushkova.
Surprisingly, the easiest one, the only seed she faced.
Yeah.
Also very surprising as well, because Bushkova had a 6-love, 6-1 in her previous round.
Yeah, she was looking pretty good, and then she came up against Svitolina. But I think that's also in my mind, I call it a mirror match. And what I mean by that is like you're playing somebody that has very, very identical strengths to you, and their strengths might be a little bit better than you. And sometimes that's one of the worst opponents to play. It's somebody that does everything you do, but it's a little bit better. That's Now would kind of describe Bushkova and Svitolina in that way.
Yeah, Bushkova is outside of the top 30 right now, just about 10 ranking points behind Svitolina. Not points, but ranking positions. So yeah. And Svitolina, obviously, as we said, like, it's former top 3 big players, so the rankings aren't necessarily the best.
Remember those COVID rankings? Man.
That was hard to keep up with.
Yeah, I'm glad we've distanced ourselves from those, because some tournaments weren't falling off, some were. It was a mess.
Yeah. Oh, and it was very hard too. Other people complaining about favoritism on Twitter as well.
The tennis establishment. Oh, great point here at Love 15. Was that in? Was that lob from Svitolina in? Oh, wow. Early contender for wackiest point of the year, maybe, possibly. But they had some really great gets in that point. Coco hit a lob. Svitolina hit a lob. Coco hit a smash. I thought it was going to be a smash, but she let it drop. And she gave a nice little racket tap for a perfectly placed lob. That was something to watch. And Svitolina has 3 game points to get right back even in this match. So the one bit of momentum we had, or momentum shift, was Coco breaking, but since that, it's been Svitolina taking charge. John Reed, I saw your comment earlier, by the way. I'm putting in hours this week. I think I am. I appreciate it. John Silk. Some people are pleased to have emerged from COVID so they can travel, be with their loved ones, hang out with their friends. Miles is pleased that the rankings normality has resumed. I am. It's the small things. It's the small things.
I don't travel all that much, so I'll take what I get.
Yeah. I do love that we can, though. That was definitely a rough part of COVID.
Yeah.
Or the
Oh man,
pandemic.
those empty stadiums were very sad.
Yeah. Yeah. The first couple of days of the United Cup kind of reminded me of them, because the biggest, at the time, the biggest showcase of, like, well, I was going to say the biggest showcase of empty stadiums was Australia at the beginning of 2021, but then how quickly I forget that the US Open had absolutely no one in
Nobody. Yeah.
there.
The saddest.
Yeah,
And of course, Dominic team had to win that match.
I
Had to win the
know.
tournament.
I'm glad he did, because it changed the conversation just a little bit about him, but yeah.
Yeah, Dominic team deserves to win the Grand Slam in front of a big stadium of
Yeah.
full of people. So
He put in some good work. It wasn't like it was just he didn't just get there by fluke or just happenstance.
yeah,
He
no.
really put in work to become a Grand Slam champion. Well, Svitolina holds, and we're on 3-all even.
Yeah.
I had a feeling that this could be a testy match, just because they have, like I said before, they don't leave a part of the court uncovered. So if they're both moving pretty good and feeling fresh in the legs,
Yeah.
then it's going to be tough to kind of finish out points.
Oh. Yeah, that was a really good starting point as well. I feel like Svitolina is trying to take some more initiative here, but yeah, this Coco is very good on keeping the ball back in as well, keeping the ball in play. Backhand down line is just a beauty.
When she leans into it from Coco, you mean, or from Svitolina?
Sorry?
From Coco, the backhand down the line?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, when she leans into it, it's a really, really aggressive shot.
The fact that Rybakina pushed Svitolina is a good sign considering her form from Shandpower. I agree as well. I think it's she kind of just ran out of steam at the end, which is normal. I don't even know how long has Rybakina not played for, but it was a while and a lot of injuries, just not fully match fit. And Svitolina is a beast when it comes to long matches.
Yeah, I would agree. I'm sure she would have liked to win that match more than lose it, but hopefully, she has the right people around her, kind of giving her perspective on the good things to take from losses. Because I was impressed with Rybakina in that Svitolina match. I really was. So, and she's not going to be someone, now that she's guaranteed to have a main draw spot at the Australian Open. I don't think there's going to be many people that are just thrilled to see her across the net from them, because she presents a problem. Like, she is a Grand Slam champion. You can't take that away from her. She plays good tennis when she's healthy and fit and has it together. And yeah, she'll be a lurking, dangerous person in the draw that no one's going to want to really see, especially if you're highly seeded. I think the extra box with the subscriber count is not muted because we can hear something.
Which one?
Do you see this? Do you see the box above us or above my head that has a subscriber count?
Yeah.
You can mute that, I think, but I'm not 100% sure if that's the sound that I'm hearing. If our producer can hear us, then I think you can mute that box. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm making that up. I don't know. Oh, it's muted. Okay, never mind. Maybe it was something else I was hearing. Because I have I have the commentary on just very vaguely for the tennis channel stream I'm watching. So maybe it was that. Who knows? We have a guest in the space.
Welcome. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Nick. Nick, what time is it there in the UK?
4:43 a.m.
Are you just
You're a
waking up for
trooper.
this? Are you just waking up for this mega stream of Svitolina, Gauff, Sabalenka, and Rybakina?
So I didn't promise anyone anything when I was waking up. I set my alarm for 4 a.m. See how much of shock my body went into. I thought, you know what, this is a good way of following what's happening across both matches. And if I want to follow all the tennis that's going to be happening over the next 6 hours or so, this is a good way of me staying awake for the first couple. So, and I get to talk to you both, which is brilliant. So yeah, fill me in. What have you been discussing so far during this Gauff match? Any tennis topics we've been covering, or have you just been focusing on what's been a very interesting contest? I've watched this match so far, and I've been very interested by the resolute hitting from both, although slightly surprised at the Gauff errors.
We've been talking quite a bit about the match and just like what each player can bring to it. We've also talked about some tennis establishment things and the potential of a super tour and the fact that Coco might not even be able to play a 250 in Auckland if some of the rules change as far as what the WTA tour intends to do, quote unquote.
Only if she loses the final.
Only if she loses the final?
Yeah. So I'm getting this from Juan Ignacio, who I generally trust on these things, is that the exceptions.
Andre used him earlier.
Yeah. The exceptions for this 250 rule are that if they're the defending champion, they can still come back.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I think probably so they can like help their ranking out. So Gauff can, if Gauff wins the title, she can come back to Auckland. Otherwise, no, she can't do it next year if she loses this final. So she wants her annual trip to New Zealand. That's what's on the line today.
I mean, in a way, I don't know if I love that rule, but in a way, it kind of gives you an incentive to play a little harder. If you love that area of the world for whatever reason, and you know it's a tournament that based off of your consistent ranking or your ranking thereabout, or whatever your current ranking is, you can't qualify for unless you win it, or whatever the case is.
I love that return from Coco Gauff.
I guess that's incentive.
Yeah. Definitely an incentive. I don't. Here's the thing. I am willing. I'm actually pro the idea of a super tour, provided it's done properly. I'm not necessarily against the idea. I think it would actually help with viewer engagement, especially with newer fans. But it's got to be done in a way that is open and flexible enough for new players to come on and off. I don't know why Ghosty is having so many goes at me. He's obviously missed me so much. He's kind of teasing me. I do want to play. Also, Ghosty, I do want to play you, even though I'll probably lose. I would definitely want to play you in a tennis match.
Coco has managed to get the break back after a couple of games there. It looked like Svitolina had more of the momentum, but not now, as Coco has broken to go up 5-3 with a nice passing shot on the forehand and a nice fist pump to accompany it. Wow. Gauff will be serving for the set now.
Do you know what? Actually, Ghost, you've sold me. I would love to come over. The Brisbane final's not started yet.
No, I think they're just being introduced to the court or something along those lines.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, so we can focus on this first set.
It does look like this has become a who can hold serve battle in a way. Obviously, like has been more holds than breaks so far, but Svitolina seems to be very happy and not scared to play a return on this one, even though she lost. And right now, my stream is ahead, so it's 30-15. But yeah, I think the problem with Svitolina is that she kind of lost a little bit the tactics in there. She doesn't really seem to know what she was doing. The point that she played to lose the game, she went to the net on a kind of a fluff ball. It wasn't really a good approach. She was just there like waiting for the pass. Like there was no doubt that point was going to end that way.
Okay, interesting. There you go. Fantastic analysis from Andre there, and this is why he's on the stream. I was going to say this is why we pay him the big bucks, but actually none of us are getting paid. So
Not yet. Not yet. You have to take it into existence.
Insert Will Poulter meme.
I think there's a YouTube in front of us where we all are engaging in ad revenue and brand deals. So it's coming for all of us.
Yeah. But if we're going to get that, we're going to need the subscriber count. So if you're new, please hit that button.
Yes, if you want to see Talking Tennis get all across your television and beyond one day, hit the subscriber button and say that you were part of the growing process. Okay,
because it's not an actual deal to show tennis, then yeah.
It's not fun. Sometimes this is my own experience, just a small tangent away from Coco Gauff potentially taking this first set. Sometimes when I come across really cool YouTube videos and their subscriber count is already through the roof, I'm talking like 70, 100,000, billion, whatever, I don't feel like I'm part of the community, you know? Whereas if it's closer to the numbers that we have now and it continues to grow, there's more of a connection I build through, you know? So.
Right, Gauff's got set points, although she's double faulted on the first one on my screen for 40-30. So let's focus on this big moment in this set. Now, I think Andre's already seen it, so we'll come to his reaction afterwards. But let's see where Miles and my streams are up. I want to do a bit of commentary here, so I'm going to hijack the whole thing because I am an egomaniac. Gauff serves at 40-30, but the first serve has bounced off the top of the net. It was going wide anyway, but the bounce has pushed it in the other direction and out. Svitolina's challenged it for some reason. Maybe it wasn't called out. I think they're not using technology here in Auckland.
They're not. I can see the giant lines people in there.
There you go. And it was way out. So, yeah, second serve for Coco Gauff. Don't know why
It's an interesting point you're going to watch right now.
Interesting. Okay, so Gauff serves. I'm not looking at the scoreboard. Forehand Svitolina. Oh, really on the line there. They again putting Gauff under pressure on her forehand. Keeping going for Svitolina, attacking up the line, putting Gauff under pressure. Great drop shot on Svitolina. Gauff runs it down, hits the passing shot. Was that in or out?
It was out.
I looked out, but it was hard to see from the reaction. Svitolina, I think, just raised a hand, but that's the second set point saved. And actually, that was some great aggressive returning from Svitolina.
Miles is gonna remember a comment I made earlier here. You're gonna about Gauff serve when you see the next point.
She does something interesting sometimes when she's not serving her best and kind of yanks her head down to the left a little too early, a la Venus Williams. I don't love that.
Yeah, get Amalfi's in the crowd. Nice.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, because, why would he not be there for his wife?
Who was just there for him when he won his last ATP title.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Exactly. Monfils is playing Auckland in the ATP event that's happening this week, isn't he?
Yeah, he and Chris Eubanks were practicing earlier.
So there you go. They're having a nice couples holiday in New Zealand.
Monfils is in the building. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Hey, I now know what you're talking about, Andre. We're not at 5-all, but we're at 5-3, and a double fault coming now is definitely not a good addition to the 10 she had coming into this match.
Yeah, bringing in the break point. Which you guys are gonna watch. It was a really solid point from Svitolina.
Yeah, I'm just watching it now. Says Gauff's got the forehand inside out. Great forehand from Svitolina, putting Gauff under pressure. But they're trading up the middle court. Svitolina goes cross court with the change up, really attacking the Gauff forehand cross court. Now change direction of the forehand, and Gauff's having to run it down the backhand side. Great drop shot from Svitolina, just makes it. Gauff scrambles it. Svitolina hits the backhand into space. She breaks back 4-5. Yeah, great point. Great construction there from Svitolina. She's really competing with Gauff today.
Yeah.
I always thought that she would. I didn't think this would be a match that Coco Gauff would really, really run away from. But that was a great match, a great point to break. I mean, athletic personified. And yeah, Svitolina is definitely not done yet with this set.
Mm-hmm.
And it's another point you said, Andre, earlier. This is a breakers match, I think. Like, honestly, I think if you are a double break ahead and returning serve, you're probably at the more advantaged part of the matchup.
So where's my stream in comparison to you guys?
I'm at 5-4 now. I think I might just be 30 seconds or so behind, something like that.
Okay, so I think it goes Andre, me. Okay, we're literally stacked in streaming order.
Yeah. They are just on court now, back from the break.
Oh wow,
Just
yeah.
ready to serve.
I'm in commercial break. Hopefully, it's not a long commercial.
So am I. It's fine.
Yeah. Is the WTTV available in the
I was
in the
just
UK?
about to make a comment about the WTTV.
No,
at least you can say it's working.
Wow.
It's not available in the UK or US.
Or the US. That's so weird. That is so weird.
I hate exclusivity deals. It's so dumb.
John said I'm still in 2019. Honestly, I would take that. 2019 was a great year. Especially if you're an Andre. If you're a Bianca Andreescu fan, 2019 was a great year.
I was gonna say Barty, but yeah, Bianca was definitely up there as well.
Mm-hmm.
Who isn't a Bianca Andreescu fan?
They exist, trust me. Maybe anybody on Twitter that hates her.
I was gonna say, is it bitter Serena fans?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah. But that was at the very least. When was the match that was like the most controversial? Was it the Osaka one?
2018.
Or was it the Clijsters one? Was pretty.
They both were controversial.
Yeah.
And that's
the Osaka one was the one.
Only two.
Yeah.
Osaka was controversial on both sides. The Clijsters one was all Serena.
Oh. Yeah. It was at that match that was the accusation of like she saying that she.
Yeah.
But the Osaka one was the one that she got the point penalty, I believe.
And game
penalty. The game penalty. Man, it's rough.
I think. Here we go. So we're back on court now, and then backhand battle at the minute. Svitolina taking to sleep, but that's a forehand cross court winner from the net from Gauff, 15-all. Obviously, Andre's already seen this, but obviously we're in a critical point of the match because Svitolina still needs to hold. And it's pretty tense right now.
Sorry, reaction to a big point right here.
I mean, okay. So we're going to see what happens here. Svitolina serves Gauff. Okay, now I see now, 30-15. That was an unreturned serve. That was big from Svitolina.
No, that's the next point. That don't want to spoil it to you guys, but it's hard.
Okay, so different point.
This one that you're gonna watch right now.
So it's the fourth point of this game. Svitolina serves up the tee. Gauff gets the forehand in play. Forehand cross court Svitolina to the cross court of Gauff on the forehand. Svitolina goes back to the Gauff forehand, who goes up the line. Backhand Svitolina to the Gauff. Backhand goes inside out. What a line painter from Coco Gauff to 30-all. That is brilliant.
Yeah. That was for my reaction here.
Yeah, no, that was a well earned reaction, and I don't mind reactions because it means that what I'm going to get is good or bad, depending on if it's a pained one.
That was a great backhand. I'm just seeing the end of that point. That was great, and a nice angle from basically the middle of the court too.
Unreturned serve from Svitolina though, 40-30, so that's going to help the Ukraine a little bit, although she's probably still feeling the pressure in this game.
Matthew asked, why did people start mentioning WTTV? Because I'm watching WTTV right now.
Yeah,
I'm in Canada, and I don't know if I'm pretty sure it's not illegal, but if you do have a VPN and you can connect to another country where it is available, you are able to watch WTTV. I just don't know if you're able to purchase it because your credit card might get like blocked or something.
Yeah, you'd have to probably pay in Canadian dollars or whatever country.
I don't know, probably, but
so many loopholes to support tennis. I hate it.
All the tennis channel content that I see on Twitter, which by the way is also blocked for outside of the US. Just the clips are all blocked, so they have geo blocked. If I turn my VPN to US, I can watch the clips.
Just on Twitter, right?
The Twitter one, I don't have access to tennis channel as well in Canada at all.
Really good rally going on here.
So any on-court play is not available to watch in Canada from Tennis Channel.
Jesus, Zetus Lapidus.
It's not a great situation. I mean, it's tough, I suppose. It's tough. I don't have a VPN. I don't bother with that. So I guess it's like us tennis fans want to consume as much content as possible. But obviously the people behind tennis want to make sure newer fans can watch it. And so I think you've got to strike the balance where Go get a deal somewhere where the tennis fans can watch as much as they want, but the existing fans can find it.
I think the issue is that our problem exists in a bubble. If tennis were to ever pop the bubble and make it really accessible, it will. In order to make it accessible, you'd have to fix some of these things. But if tennis just took up more space in the sporting world, we could fix these things because it would be even, the issues and the complaints would be even louder. But our issues are in a bubble, unfortunately. It's just us that complains.
Yeah, that's the problem. Andre's vanished. I don't have an unforced error account, Ghosty. Unfortunately, the WTA don't seem to think that matters. I don't know where I could get one. But like that would be interesting to see, especially since a lot of this is about fantastic defense, and it's about who's breaking down first in this game. In this match overall. Yeah, I agree with Ghost's most recent comment as well, because I've been saying this for a while. Second serve for Coco Gauff on my stream. I'll talk us through it. Gauff serves up middle, the second serve really short. Svitolina gets it back into play. A little bit tight there, maybe. Trading forehands. Gauff accelerates up the line with her forehand, puts Svitolina under pressure, now moving her around up the line, giving lines with her different sides. That works. Svitolina's forehand is long. It's 40-15. Gauff. So Gauff is 2 points of 40-15 for this game in Auckland to basically put Svitolina again under pressure to serve to stay in this set.
And technically put her in the driver's seat in the game because it's been a breakers match. So wouldn't be surprised if somebody breaks to take the set.
That would actually be honest. Yeah, because otherwise we're in for a chaos tiebreaker. Yeah, absolutely. Although I think Gauff's just double faulted there, so 40-30.
Yeah. Gauff has already double faulted. During the tournament, she's double faulted 8 times. In this match alone, she double faulted 4 times.
Definitely some tension and pressure.
Yeah.
How are you getting pressure from winning a 250? You won a grand
that you've already
slam.
won before. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's more pressure from her opponent than the moment, but you never know. You can be wired a little bit differently on the day. Maybe, and I don't know if she's ever defended a title, so maybe she's thinking about that too. Who knows?
Maybe it's down to that, and maybe every tennis player wants to win every match they play, regardless of what it's for. And Svitolina is definitely sort of a step up compared to her other opponents.
Very much so.
No offense to people like Claire Liu or Wang
Varga Cheva. Yeah.
No, Wang plays anyway. Yeah.
Well, compared to Coco's opponent, Svitolina is the best opponent she's played all tournament, just off of paper alone. So maybe it's just the pressure of playing a different level of opponent. But she gets through that game, so
yeah,
I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, she's got it. She's got there.
I think it's a good win for her ahead of the Australian Open, especially because Svitolina is definitely going to prove to be a tough opponent, and Gauff doesn't want to lose to Svitolina, knowing that there's going to be the likes of Sabalenka and Rybakina, Swiatek along the way as well, even Pegula. So it's like, I feel like it's a test for her to say, I'm in a good level and I can beat these women, and I can go for the Australian Open. I'm not sure. I don't think the losing here is going to affect her mentality all that much, but a win is definitely going to give her more confidence.
I think whoever wins walks away from Auckland with pretty great confidence, really. So we'll see what happens. It's a very crucial time in the match. Winners of first set statistically go on to win matches more often than they lose them. So
yeah, maybe it's a critical point. That's going to give her the momentum she needs to take control. We'll have to see. Svitolina is going to come out to serve on. I said to serve to stay in. Serve to take this first set to a tiebreak. Yeah, I agree with you there. I think obviously Coco needs to deal with this situation. Although I do think you're doing Svitolina down a bit. I think the level she's bringing is probably just short of the top elite group, but it's still probably better than most others on the WTA tour. But we'll have to see. Obviously, Gauff wouldn't have to deal with the other top 4 players until the semi-finals at the earliest, unless she ends up. I mean, depends on where you put Pegula in the mix. And Anyway, they're trading forehands at the minute on my screen. On the first point of this game, backhand cross court from Svitolina to the cross court up the line from Gauff. That is brilliant, utterly brilliant. Hits the corner, and that just dug out in a classic Coco Gauff backhand. You're gonna love this, Miles.
If the tennis channel would get out of the duo box just to show us that Sabalenka is walking on the court, and I missed it, of course, because of the duo box. Yay! I did see the fist pump though, so that's always nice. Oh, they're showing the replay right now. Okay.
Cool.
She lined that up nicely. Yeah, that was a great backhand on the line. World class.
Oh man, you guys are in for something on the 15-all point.
15-all point. Okay, yeah, because Gauff's put a backhand into the net. Just seen that. So yeah, talking tennis, saying that Aryna and Elena are coming onto court. Oh wait, we are talking tennis. Never mind. So I think we'll probably stick with this.
That's our lovely producer in the background.
Thank you, Anastasia. Backhand up the line from Gauff. Fantastic there. Drop shot from Gauff. Svitolina's going to run in, just scoop it up. Gauff's going to have to go for the pass, lob over Svitolina's head, bounces behind her in the court, 15-30. That was good.
This is the first set that Coco Gauff has to play that she loses 5 games into the whole tournament. So this is basically the first match that she's really tested this week.
Of 2024.
2024, yeah.
Lizzie, I completely agree. I think the champion of the Australian Open is going to come from the top 4 seeds.
Would agree. Would love to see it.
Surprised. I was going to say I'd be surprised if it wasn't one of them, with the exception of Jessica Pegula. But even then, Pegula's not looked convincing in the United Cup. So I think anyone outside the top 4 in the world right now would be a surprise.
I do love an Australian Open surprise, though. They happen quite a bit at that tournament and in the WTA in general, but would not be mad at a surprise.
Gauff shanks the forehand. It goes way into the tram lines, 30-all.
Huge point. Set point or game point coming up.
Yeah.
Wow. It's a good rally.
Okay, so the rally's still going on Andre's screen. Svitolina's stepping up to serve on mine. And I knew my comment would annoy Ghosty. Wink. Svitolina serves out wide. The forehand of Gauff into play. Forehand back behind for Svitolina. Gauff scrambles it. Svitolina lines up her forehand to go up the line this time. Backhand Gauff still in play. Forehand Svitolina up the middle this time. Gauff goes inside out. Now she's in control of the rally because Svitolina neutralized it. Backhand Gauff on the run. Brilliant. Svitolina has to scramble it. Forehand inside out from Gauff to the backhand of Svitolina. Gets it in court. Forehand Gauff's moving Svitolina around. Cross court for Svitolina to the middle of the court. Gauff loops up the forehand wide and long from the middle of the court, and it's 40-30. Svitolina dug herself out of trouble there, but that was a great rally. Both players were up and down in it at different points.
This has been a good match in general, but I feel like there's been quite a few unforced errors, like not so match sharp, I would say. But it's been a good match. I feel like they're playing themselves into form here.
Yeah, yes, I would agree. I think both of them are going to be grateful for this match. Backhanded to play from Gauff to the backhand of Svitolina, long, and that's deuce. So Svitolina trying to accelerate the backhand up the line and take the initiative in this game, but she's overdone it, and so she's now kind of back to pressure moments. They're already stepping up, ready to play again. Apologies, I'm trying to use caffeine to stay awake. Serve into play from Svitolina is too good, unreturned. Gauff goes wide, scrambling it, and it's advantage to the Ukrainian.
I'm really loving Svitolina's forehand and in general right now. I feel like it's something that people have been trying to tell her. Well, I guess like fans have been saying that she should be more aggressive, and I think she's doing a pretty good job at it. So
I think this is the best Svitolina's ever played in her career.
I've been saying that this whole week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the last 6 months has been the best I've ever seen her play, especially in terms of aggression and big strikes on the ball. Never seen her do this before. I
would be shocked as Gauff drags the forehand wide under a lot of pressure from Svitolina. That was definitely a forced error. We're into a tiebreak. But I was going to say, yeah, I've been saying this since about Wimbledon. I would be shocked if Svitolina is not top 10 by Roland Garros.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm not sure if I'd be shocked, but I think it's definitely something that I wouldn't be surprised if this happens.
I think it depends obviously on how other players do, but I'm trying to think who is top 10 now and who's got big points to defend, potentially dropping out. But I think there's one or two people she could definitely displace.
Ghosty, you're inappropriate.
Karolina
Yeah,
Muchova, if she remains healthy, but if
injury,
not,
yeah.
she might drop. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the big problem. Although her big points don't come until RG, I think. Oh,
Yeah.
Gauff put a backhand into the net under pressure of Svitolina, and it's 1-0 to the Ukrainian.
I don't know. The backhand drop shot is not the favorite part of Coco Gauff's game. I have to say so far. That's not my favorite, but
I think
work through that.
I heard the commentator, because I think it's using the same commentator as the WTA TV feed, saying that it's been something they've been deliberately working on all week, and so Coco Gauff's been deploying it all week to try and get it better.
Keep working on it.
You see this forehand cross court goes long. The running forehand cross court goes long, and it's 1-1. So Gauff's we're back on serve in this tiebreak already. Yeah, this could be a breaker. The most ludicrous example of one of those I could think of was that Indian Wells first set tiebreaker between Sabalenka and Rybakina, who are on court in Brisbane now, I think.
WTA life. Matches on matches on matches.
I'm not sure who I have winning this tiebreak, honestly. But if things go on slightly like this on Gauff serve, I think Svitolina might take it.
Unfortunately, I'm leaning to Elina too, because I've been here in this seat and I've seen her come back and bring a set that she should have lost to a tiebreak earlier this week against Rybakina. So I'm going that lightning strikes twice this week in Auckland and she takes this tiebreak.
Do you think Svitolina should have lost in straight sets, or do you think she should have nicked that first set and they just won opposite sets? They should. That's a double fault for Gauff. He's frustrated 3-1.
Yeah, more doubles are not making me more prevalent that Coco's going to win. I think things have gone according to plan, except that serve in this match. And it's like we keep saying, it's a breakers match. So,
well, the serve attempt for Svitolina is into the net. I think she was really going for that return off the Gauff first serve, but it just clipped the top of the net. And 3-2 to Svitolina, it's now on serve. So we'll have to see where we're going with this. So we'll have Svitolina 3-2 serving. Both athletes in all black outfits. Svitolina in Adidas, Coco in New Bounce. First serve is wide from Svitolina. 3-2. This is the point before they change ends. Umpire's saying something. Maybe there's some kind of call from the crowd happening here. Oh no, it's a challenge. It's a challenge. I think Svitolina is challenging whether the ball is out on her first serve. It was, so it's a second serve. So we'll see what happens. I think Andre already knows what happened, so might get his views in a minute. Second serve into the box, but the backhand from Gauff is dragged wide, trying to go up the line. Really didn't move well enough around it, and it's 4-2 Svitolina as they change ends.
Gauff looking pretty frustrated right now with her game.
I mean, if there's any consolation for whoever loses this match, is there's actually a history of the losing Auckland finalist going on to win the Australian Open. Do either of you know which year that was? That I will say this: it happened within. It's happened within
on the WTA.
On the WTA, yeah, the loser in Auckland has gone on to win the Australian Open, and it's happened in recent years. So I'm talking within the last 7.
In the last 7 years.
Is there more than one?
I mean, they went on to win the Australian Open.
But they lost the final in Auckland.
Okay, well, we got to think about the winners of the Australian Open, because it's only been, the last year was 2022 was Ash Barty, 2021 was Osaka. She didn't play Auckland. Sophia Kenin didn't get to an Auckland final. And in 2019, it was Osaka again.
Yeah.
But Wozniacki didn't make the Auckland Open final in 2018, did she?
I mean, do you want me to tell you?
Well, I've narrowed it down to 2018, and none of those players got to the final of Auckland. Let me see, 2017, who won that Australian Open? Serena. But she didn't lose in the okay. Did Kerb? Okay, you got to tell me because I can't make it make sense. You got to tell me.
It's Wozniacki. She lost to Gerges 6-4, 7-6 in the Auckland final and went on to win.
Okay. I overlooked that because I forgot she got to the Auckland final. Okay, got it.
I mean, it's not something you would normally remember, to be honest. I just looked up because I like to see track records. Right, match points. Gauff at set points. Gauff at 2-6 serving. Forehand. The Svitolina forehand cross court. Gauff goes up the line with her forehand looped. Backhand Svitolina moon balls. Gauff goes on aggressive on the inside out forehand. Gets the point. 3-6. She's going to feel good about that one. Svitolina has now 3 set points, 2 on her serve.
She's not looked good in this tiebreaker. Like New Balls, please says
Yeah, it's not been a good tiebreaker for Coco Gauff, but you never know. It could get better. She could save these points. You know, she's been able to break Svitolina's serve a couple of times already this match. So maybe it'll happen again. Svitolina serves off the top of the net, into the top of the net. So second serve. Gauff's looking ready, feet planted, ready to go for this return of serve. Ready for her extreme angle forehand grip. For backhand into play with the backhand Svitolina cross court. Gauff goes up the line with her backhand, putting Svitolina under pressure on the forehand. Inside out forehand from Gauff. Svitolina just runs it down. Gauff's going to attack with the backhand up the line. Svitolina is running for it. Gauff's going to take the backhand out the air. She's at the net. And that doubles volley skills pays off and she saves that set point. Gauff 6-4.
Oh, wow.
Still on serve for Svitolina here, but yeah, Gauff like taking a little bit more initiative with her forehand. Oh.
That was a great volley to stab, though.
It was. She was a little bit of pressure at the net, but she dealt with it really, really well. And hey, looks like that doubles actually paid off. So it's another set point. Svitolina wants to get this one because this is her third one now. Svitolina serves wide, too wide. Second serve for the Ukrainian. Gauff again, ready to go with whatever Svitolina throws at her. Where's she going to go with her second serve? It's sort of mid-box near the tee. Forehand Svitolina to the forehand of Gauff up the line. Wide game. That's the point and the set for Elina Svitolina in a tie-break, 7-4. Gauff almost rescued it, but again, the gap was too far. And there we go. Svitolina leads in Auckland. Gauff may have to channel her inner Caroline Wozniacki. So we are now almost underway in Brisbane with Rybakina breaking already. We'll cover that match in a minute, but we've got a little bit of a preview coming up for that match.
Just a reminder that Gauff actually had 2 set points at 5-3, 40-15. Couldn't convert. In fact, when she had 40-15, she lost 4 straight points to lose that game. So it was, things just didn't look up very much for her after that. So
yeah, a set she should have won, honestly, but
basically
just didn't culminate that way. And Svitolina is known to do kind of stuff like that within a set or a match. She really never truly goes away. So Coco's going to have to really dig for it and earn it if she wants this second Auckland title.
All right. I think we should play this preview we've got if it's ready to go. Oh, wait, we do preview. Oh, yeah. Aryna versus we actually don't have a video. Sorry, I've misunderstood.
I was just going to say, I'm not sure that we
Okay, my mistake.
We have to make the video. We have to make the
video. We are the video. We are the video. Nick, this is live. What?
We are the content. Okay, let's go big predictions. Who do we think is winning in the Australian Open 2023 rematch in the final of Brisbane this evening / morning, afternoon, wherever you're watching and tuning in? I think Rybakina takes the victory, personally.
Is that because she's a breakup?
In the match already?
Yeah, she's breakup.
Oh, didn't even know. See, well, we're in tune with one another. That's all.
I don't know. I think Rybakina is a bit of a mystery to me when it comes to form. She plays well, then she doesn't. But like, obviously, she plays more well than not. But I don't know. It's a really toss up for me. I mean, I haven't really seen much of what they did this week. So
Rybakina has been pretty lights out, I have to say. But I mean, I agree with what you say, Andre. Like, she's she's an enigma. If that's the right usage of the word. Like sometimes it's hard to pinpoint, even though she's really come on the radar in the last 24 months as a really top elite women's tennis player. I still never know when she's going to strike. I guess it's because she's so silent. Maybe I don't know.
Mhm.
I never know when it's going to happen.
Her consistency isn't fantastic. She's very much on one tournament and not necessarily the next. The only time I've seen her be on for consecutive tournaments was the Sunshine Double last year, where she almost won it, as in like won the double. Obviously, won Indian Wells, maybe could have won Miami, but Kvitova was having a very, very good day. By the way, I've just switched over to that match and they've just thrown the stat up, and she's won like of the 9 out of the last 11 points to go 3 levels.
Wow.
Rybakina? Wow.
Yeah.
I think for me it's hard to tell. I think that the her ice cold face is tough to say for me because I don't really know. I can't really tell whether she's feeling good about her game or not. So that for me is is the tell sometimes. Like some players are really easy to say like, oh, this woman is feeling good, is playing good, but her body language is just basically unchangeable. So I don't really know if she's feeling good or not. But I guess being a breakup and all of that is pretty solid. So let's see whether Sabalenka can strike back. But yeah. With that being said, I think I am going to say my goodbye here to you guys and let you guys cover these amazing finals today.
Andre, you will be missed. And I will. You'll be missed. Loving hearing your analysis. You've done really well covering your first live match, and I hope to have you back for more.
Yeah, same here.
Good stuff. Good. Nice calling with you, Andre. Take care.
Nice chats. Hey, guys.
And you are left with Nick and Miles. Hopefully, it's your favorite commentary duo. If not, we won't be offended. We know you love Jack and Damien as well.
I would be offended. I'm definitely offended.
yeah, but like we've got some stiff competition here, Miles. Right. So here's what I think we should do because I think this will work quite well. You stay watching the Gauff match, and I'll keep an eye on Sabalenka, Rybakina, and I'll let you know and we'll just let each other know if there are big points happening in either, and that way we've got both matches covered.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, I figured
four eyes, 2 matches.
Yeah, that's what you need. As opposed to what I'm probably going to be doing later with trying to keep across 2 matches at the same time, because I'm probably going to have the Brisbane final on at the same time as the opening United Cup match. I say this, I'm probably paying more attention to the United Cup match because it's the women's match.
And that's the beginning of that is the final, right? It's Poland versus
Germany, yeah.
And is it Kerber versus Swiatek?
Yep.
Oh, poor Kerber.
Yeah, Kerber's not. Well,
if she wins that match, I don't have a big enough superlative to give her if she wins that match. I really don't.
I mean, she's slowly somehow Kerber is the only tennis player I know of who's made a final, having only won the semi-final match and lost in all the previous matches.
Benefits of team play, right?
Indeed, yeah. So we're at 15-all at love. Sabalenka's having at 15-all love 3, having hit a forehand win and stopping the run of points against her. But she's just put that forehand into the net, and she's looking very frustrated right now. 15-30. Yeah, just let me just. I think what we'll do is we'll probably chat and shout over each other if there's a big point coming up. So we might get break points here in Brisbane. But I think there might be break points in Auckland, or at least we're close to it.
Not quite yet. We're at deuce in this first game of the second set, and Coco's still overwhelmingly very frustrated. Svitolina's probably going to try to take advantage of that, but we'll see. If Coco wants to start turning this match around, now is a good time to start doing it.
I mean, she's going to have to, right?
Yeah.
She's going to have to. She's got no choice. Otherwise, yeah, she could go down in straight sets, which is probably not what we expected.
Mm-hmm. And she has a break point incoming. First game of the second set. We called it.
All right. Okay. We're going to stick with Auckland. We're going to stick with Auckland, ladies and gentlemen, just to keep an eye on events there. So, Miles, when things start going, just let us know where we're at.
I can do that.
Backhand into the net from Sabalenka. It's a break point for Rybakina to go a double break up in this first set in Brisbane. This is not as competitive as Australia last year, or even Indian Wells last year so far. Obviously, the break point in Auckland might be bigger. I don't know, but we've got 2 big points happening at the same time. One for Gauff to go break up. Oh, why? What? That is a huge return for Rybakina. She picks off the first serve on the backhand, threads it almost around the net post, up the line, into the corner for a return winner, and she breaks for 4-love.
And so does Coco. Coco breaks to open up the second set, put herself 1-love, which she really needed to do to make sure she can stamp the authority that she's not going away in this match. Really, really good forehand exchange in that break point. And Svitolina was the person that went wide. So if Coco can still win the battle of the forehand, she might turn around this match. That's good to see.
Lovely to see.
She does have to steady that first serve, though. She has to steady the first and second serve and cut down on those double faults. I think she had 5 or 6 in the first set, and that's not going to help her if she's mounting a comeback.
Yeah, absolutely. And she's going to be under pressure to hold serve this set when we know that, as you've been saying, it's a breakers match. And very clear, like both players have broken each other twice. Like Gauff holding this, if Gauff holds this break advantage through the whole set, I'll be surprised.
Yeah, I would too.
Great.
Not a betting man, but I bet that she doesn't.
Probably not. Well, she's already lost the first point on her serve by the look of it. Rybakina's already loved 30 down in this service game, so Sabalenka trying to mount her own comeback, probably a bigger one at the minute, from a double breakdown in the first set. Doable though. We have seen it before. Nice to see our subscriber counts got up by 2 on the stream. Thank you very much, those who subscribed. Hopefully you enjoy more content as we've got all the tennis matches covered. At some point, we will be doing 2 separate streams. One for the United Cup final, and one for the Brisbane men's final between Holger Rune and Grigor Dimitrov. And Jack and Damien will be bringing you the United Cup, and Dimitrov and Rune will be brought to you by Tom and Mario.
All good options. Make sure you keep it right here on the Talking Tennis community.
Sabalenka's thrown a racket up in the air. It just bounces at her feet. 30 all. Yeah, she's frustrated. She's put that forehand into the net. Oh, no, she didn't throw it. She just dropped it. She just used the momentum and it just bounced exaggeratedly. But yeah, it wasn't a throw. It was just drops it after swinging it. Ace for Rybakina, 40-30. John, yeah, you know, I'm sure Dimitrov and Rune would make excellent commentators, and I think Tom and Mario would give us an entertaining match.
I do not think Rune would make an excellent commentator, but that's just my personal opinion.
Dimitrov?
Yes. Dimitrov, yes. Rune, not yet. Haven't seen enough.
No, yeah, maybe he's a bit too young, doesn't have enough experience. Yeah, I'd probably actually say probably I wouldn't put Alcaraz or Sinner as commentators yet.
Actually, I think Sinner has the most potential. I think the way he reads the game, and I don't know, I feel like I might be interested in listening to him speak about it.
We've got juice in this Sabalenka-Rybakina game. Rybakina's not having this hold of serve easily. Gets a backhand to the back, so a Sabalenka backhand. Sabalenka goes up the line, but clips off the top of the net and goes long, and it's advantage to Rybakina.
Coco has 2 game points over here in Auckland to consolidate that opening break in the second set.
That's going to make her feel a lot better if she can do that. Settle her down a bit, maybe.
Okay, and she does it with a really, really impressive backhand. So good for Coco.
Svitolina, Rybakina's serving. That serve is too good. Sabalenka can't get it back in court. Can't even get it over the net. And after 18 minutes, Rybakina's 5-love up in this final. So we're now at a change of end, so we'll probably focus a little bit more on Auckland. I won't change my stream, but there'll still be some tennis action going on in front of Miles's eyes.
It is. And something that I wanted to pick up on in the match I called earlier with Svitolina and Rybakina, but I never actually said, is the ankle brace on Svitolina's. Come on, camera, do your thing. Can you show me her ankle brace again so I can say if it's a left ankle or right ankle?
I hadn't noticed it.
Yeah, it's a right ankle, which the fact that she's a righty when she serves, and I would imagine that there's a fair amount of pressure on that right ankle. So that's something to keep note of in this Australian summer. Maybe it might be a little sore from some preseason stuff she did, but yeah.
Every tennis, I would find it hard to believe that there are. I find it hard to believe that there's no tennis player who's not experiencing. I'm tired.
Something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, literally, tennis is the sport that you use almost every muscle in your body. Like literally, your wrists and pinkies and toes are all being used.
Yeah,
it's demanding.
I was on a stream. It was like commentating with yesterday because I was doing the Thompson versus Dimitrov semi-final with James, and James said, and this is not something I picked up with him on the stream, but like James said, oh yeah, a wrist is something that you definitely don't want to see. Is the worst place you can have a serious injury, a serious problem with. If you're a tennis player, I was like, no, I think pretty much most things, if you have a serious problem with, is going to hold you back. Sabalenka's frustrated. The backhand's gone into the net. It's love 15. So here we go. We're hoping to see what's going on, but we'll see what I think there's. We'll see what's going on here in across everything. Svitolina's got game point by the look of this screen. Okay, so it looks. Is this? I mean, you're saying that there's been an ankle brace since she pulled out of it Cincinnati last year. Is that Rybakina or Svitolina? Because I think
Elena Svitolina. Oh, their first names are Elena. Yeah, look at that.
Elina and Elena, but yeah.
Yeah. Spelled the exact same, right?
Must have the same root. Yeah. Oh, huge serve from Sabalenka to go 30-15 up. I need to have a look at. I mean, I haven't looked at Rybakina's ankles, so maybe I'll see if there's a good shot. By the way, for those who are interested, Sabalenka's wearing a black Nike outfit, all black, and Svitolina is wearing a sort of a blue kind of camo-y outfit.
It looks like blue curtains to me, but this is my opinion.
She's not with Asics, is she? Because that's very similar to the sort of stuff Asics.
Rybakina is sponsored by Yannick now, yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't looking at her. I could, like, the camera wasn't on her, and again, the camera wasn't on her long enough for me to look at her ankles either. That sounded really odd.
We're in commercial break over here in Auckland, and Coco's still up that break.
Oh, that was a smart drop shot from Sabalenka, who comes in behind it. Rybakina can't quite get it over the net. So Sabalenka has points for her first game of this set, which is mad to think, but there you go. But yeah, very, very good drop shot. I think Sabalenka's finally getting into this. I can't see anything on Svitolina's ankle.
You really can't? It's not. It's notice
not Svitolina, Rybakina.
Oh, we were talking about
the Elena thing.
Yeah, we were talking about Svitolina with the ankle brace on since Cincinnati, not Rybakina.
Yeah, but the producers put Elena, so either she's mixed up about who we're talking about, or
maybe Svitolina did pull out of. Oh no. Yeah, it is Elena with an I. Okay, so it's not spelled the same.
Okay,
so Svitolina has been wearing the ankle brace.
I was so confused. And it's quite easy to do, to be honest.
Yeah. Elena with an I, Svitolina with also an I, and Svitolina has been wearing the ankle brace for some months now. Okay, got it. Rybakina seems to be healthy, as shown by the 5-love lead over there.
Yes, it's juice at the minute. So Rybakina's 2 points away from taking a bagel set. And actually, you know what? Rybakina's actually not dropped that many games.
She hasn't. She's already had a bagel set. Yeah.
Yeah, and she's breadsticked everyone except Noshkova. She's like a bakery, bageled or breadsticked everyone except Noshkova.
What has a better ring to Rybakina's bakery or Iga's bakery? Or should I say Elena's bakery versus Iga's bakery? Which one would you rather go to?
I mean, you know who you're asking, Miles, right?
I know.
So I think my answer's obvious.
I just wanted to hear you say it. That's all.
Look, I think there's no point in boring the viewers. They already know my thoughts on the subject, and
But
if they
not
don't,
everyone.
they don't necessarily need to right now.
Not everyone. Of the 5,159 people, there might be some newer ones that have no idea.
We do have a couple of new subscribers. I am a self-confessed eager fanboy, so there you go. Advantage Rybakina set point here in Brisbane. I mean, I'm not in Brisbane, but anyway, first serve is wide from Sabalenka, who's definitely frustrated now. Second serve for Rybakina to look at to break and take this first set already. Sabalenka serves backhand Rybakina. Backhand Sabalenka cross court. Rybakina lifts her backhand into play. Under pressure, on the run though, gets it in. Backhand into the net from Sabalenka off a great running forehand from Rybakina. And Rybakina's won this first set by 6 games to love. Elena has opened her own bakery officially in Brisbane. She's bakeried almost everyone she's played. And after 25 minutes, both matches are into a second set, and I did not think this would be happening. And Sabalenka's going to go off court for a change of clothes.
Rybakina's Bagel Bungalow is now open. I didn't come up with that. That was all Ghosty.
So yeah,
and Coco has 2 points to go ahead to a 3-1 lead. Svitolina looks to be. I don't want to jump the gun and say that she's tiring, but it does look like she's doesn't have the same pep in her step in the second set so far. And Coco looks just fine. Looks like she's able to knock off some of that frustration. Her serve is settled. And yeah, we could be interested. We could be in for a much longer match if this goes 3. We'll see how speaking of Svitolina's ankle, how we were confused about that a couple seconds ago. It does look like her physicality in this match has taken a small dip. So we'll keep an eye on that.
Is that a hangover from the Rybakina match, or is that too long ago now to make a difference?
I think it could be hangover from her semifinal match. Wang Jiyu pushed her to 3rd set. So that plus the Rybakina match, that's a significant amount of time on court, especially compared to Coco, who hasn't dropped a set in Auckland since 2023. And she didn't even drop a set then. So yeah, as far as physical nature is concerned and physical reserves, Coco should have tons of that. And on top of that, Coco is 10 years younger than Svitolina. So if this gets physical, advantage Coco Gauff for sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, probably. Yeah, I think there's definitely advantage there. So yeah, the longer the match goes on, the more it swings towards Coco, maybe. Is that what we're saying? Yeah. Cool. Okay, we're on a commercial break. I think it's going to be a long break between sets here.
Yeah, Sabalenka should take all the time she's allowed.
Yeah, she's probably earned it. But yeah, so I don't
know about earned it, but deserves to have some time to recalibrate.
I mean, look, I would say from watching this match, I think a lot of that bagel has come from Sabalenka errors. I mean, I didn't see the beginning of the match. It may be that Rybakina kind of stomped on her and shook her a bit early on. But that seems to be, I mean, like given that run of points, maybe it is Rybakina just came out firing, caught Sabalenka off guard, and then she was making errors under pressure. Maybe if someone who's actually doing this, Sean saying people frantically shifting their power rankings. Yeah, I am actually, because I was very much going, I don't know who to put at number 1, Swiatek or Sabalenka, and now I'm going, oh heck, do I need to put Rybakina at 1? Because if this is the kind of form she's in, this is scary. But also, I think who my number 1 is going to be is going to depend on how the second set goes in Brisbane, and also how Swiatek does against Kerber. Because if Swiatek doesn't go into AO undefeated, that's going to hit her in my ranking.
I actually think I can see how that would hit her in your rankings, but I think that would actually benefit her as far as how she performs in Australia. Because we just saw what happens when she loses something, like she lost the number 1 ranking, and she came back with a vengeance, wanting it and winning the WTA finals in Cancun plus Beijing. So, and if I was a hardcore Swiatek fan, I wouldn't be upset if she takes a loss, but
Mhm.
it's highly unlikely the loss is going to come from Angelique Kerber in 2024. But
Highly unlikely, yes. I mean, given that she was also playing Ayla Tomljanovic in that semi-final, which
this was
Tomljanovic was
7-6 in the third, maybe.
It was tough. It was a tough fight.
Yeah.
I don't think it was 7-6. I mean, that whole tie, Germany versus Australia, like every match went to a decider. It was super close. I don't know why we're talking about. Why would you bet on in the chat? Why would you bet on tennis if you don't know anything about it?
Because you want money.
I mean, that's just
and money is what all people want. So
is Gauff putting pressure on for a double break for Svitolina?
She is. I'm glad you brought my attention back to it because I'm watching that this point at 30-40 live right now, and Coco is being very patient with the forehand, not giving Svitolina much to work with. Svitolina is trying her best to power through it, but Coco is using all of her legs in this point. Oh, and Svitolina powers through it. Wow, that was the best point I've seen her play in about 30 minutes. Really, really nice forehand winner from Svitolina to knock off a break point against her. I think Coco will still take that in stride, though. If I'm learning anything about the last 30 minutes or so of this match, is that Coco seems like she wants to tire Svitolina out, especially if she can't really depend on her serve right now to give her some quick points. I think she can depend on her fitness, her physical fitness, to make this as long and drawn out as possible, and see if Svitolina can actually hang with it. So, great point right there.
Good strategy from her at the minute. Interesting last couple of points. So Rybakina was 40 love up in this game. And then a score flashed up saying that she'd won 14 of the last 20 points. And then she's gone on to go down to 40-30 with a forehand that she overhit. Like she had space for ages and she hits it over the baseline because Sabalenka was out of court. And then Sabalenka just passed her. Rybakina's come into net and Sabalenka's passed her for 40-30. But that looks like an ace from Rybakina to seal the game, and it's 7 games in a row for the Kazakh. Any drama going on in Auckland?
Besides Svitolina fighting back to game point, no drama.
I mean, it depends on your definition of drama, right? If your drama is if your definition of drama is you need some kind of player meltdown, then most tennis matches are probably.
I do have to say, I love this scoring setup we have from our producer in the live box right now. It's showing both matches that we're talking about simultaneously, and I'm actually in cohesiveness with the score. Look at that.
Yeah, I think I'm slightly behind my score, but that doesn't matter so much. I think we need to have both at the same time, and this works really, really well.
Yeah.
So yeah, great job, our production team working together to get this sorted out. This is a high quality product that you're getting on Talking Tennis, and hopefully we will, if you subscribe to us, we can bring you more top quality content, bring you all the matches that as many matches as we can, and definitely all the big ones. So subscribe to us for our Australian Open coverage, especially if you can't easily follow it in your country, as we've been already discussing, is that
it's hard.
Well, it is hard to watch all the tennis, but it's okay because we can do it for you.
We can. If you don't have no streams at all, you can at least count on us to walk you through the match and give it some color and spice. That's what we're here for. My middle name is Color.
Sabalenka is definitely not happy. She's put a forehand into the net, a clear unforced error, slapped it into the net, really, and she's love 15 already in this game.
And Svitolina holds. Looks like she got a little renewed energy on her side.
That was a tough hold for Svitolina. That might, that's probably going to energize her, I'd imagine.
Well, I don't know about energizing because she just literally plopped down on her chair and grimaced a little bit. So maybe we'll see. We'll see if that was the last stance or the beginning of something. We shall see.
Sabalenka tried to gear herself up here. She's just hit a backhand win across court. The Sabalenka backhand special. I know that she's monstrously scary from both wings, but I actually think her backhand is more impressive, even though the forehand's the bigger weapon. And then an ace for 30-15. She's trying to get her first game in this match right now. It's 32 minutes in this match, by the way. and we're in game 8, and it's the second set. What on earth? What on earth?
Ghosty, I feel like I'm pretty snarky enough to be a part of that podcast.
Yes.
Or cheeky, like John likes to call me.
Yes, there's probably a British term for that somewhere. Cheeky something. Second serve from Sabalenka is off the top of the net, and well, it's a let. So yeah, Sabalenka still can't put a valid serve in the box, and we're still at 30-15. On my stream, just let me know when they're off the change of ends in Auckland. Backhand from Rybakina into play. Backhand cross court from Sabalenka. Tries to change direction on the backhand. Puts it in the tram line. 30-all. Oh, okay. I've just checking my score. Is Gauff in trouble?
How did I just miss a whole bunch of points? Because I'm just seeing the opening point of this game. Wow. It's funny how things quickly change in tennis.
Yeah. Okay. We're in interesting moments in both matches. Someone's 2 points away from this. Backhand return from Rybakina is long. Sabalenka has game point to get on the board in the match.
Yeah, there's definitely a moment of opportunity here. Not quite break point against Gauff, but definitely want to be careful here.
Sabalenka is going to serve, but the first serve long. Shout me if there's any significant points. Are we into a long rally? And I think it's 15-30 still.
Just hit the net tape. Oh, Svitolina she must have heard you. You must have jinxed her because she hit a forehand in the middle of the net as soon as you asked about a long rally. But something happens because I'm a little bit behind in my stream, but Svitolina does now have 2 break points to get back and even this match at 3-all. So Coco is going to be looking for a good serve.
Okay. So are you on the break point now, or are you sort of 15-30?
Not yet. I just took one eye and looked at the score. So I haven't seen how Coco lost the point, but
we are at deuce in this game, by the way. Sabalenka misses a forehand under pressure from Rybakina. Resolute defense, who puts a forehand into the corner. Forehand into play from Rybakina. Oh, I thought that return was good, but it just went over the baseline. Advantage Sabalenka.
Coco, this is a long rally here, like a really, really long rally. And Coco definitely goes wide with the forehand, but she's giving up a little space on that baseline. Svitolina seems like she's hell-bent on staying maybe a foot or two behind it, but Coco's more 3 or 4 feet behind the baseline. And I think that might have to do with the forehand production. Make sure she gives herself enough time, but yeah. Svitolina's definitely been the more aggressive player for the last 5 minutes. That's for sure.
Yeah. I was about to explain score by error, but Matthew in the chat has beaten me to it. Forehand up the line from Sabalenka on game points gone long, and it's back to deuce. So Gauff saved break points in Auckland.
She did. One with a great jumping smash. The second one upcoming on my feed. I know I'm a little bit behind the score, but interested to see how she saves this second break point.
Jane, you do watch ITP Weekly, right?
With an ace. Wow.
Oh, fantastic job from Coco Gauff there.
Yeah, great way to knock off 2 break points against you. Huge smash, huge serve.
I mean, that's what the best players do, right? They go big and it works at the right time. Into an interesting round here with Sabalenka getting wrong-footed from the middle of the court by a Rybakina cross-court forehand winner, and it's a break point for Elena Rybakina in Brisbane. Sabalenka has had 3 game points, failed to take them. Now Rybakina's got a break point to win an 8th consecutive game and take probably full control of this match, potentially, because I think this game's going to be pretty crucial here in Brisbane. If Sabalenka wins it, it's going to be a boost to her and maybe make this match competitive. If Rybakina wins it, it's going to be a real uphill battle, and it's going to be a second serve as Sabalenka is frustrated that the first serve went into the net. Bouncing the ball here in Brisbane she's got her head in her hands, really, whilst preparing for a second serve. That is not a great mentality. I'm not looking at the score because it's probably my stream's probably behind it. But here we go. Sabalenka serves.
That's a great way to hold serve, Coco Gauff.
Gauff holds serve well. Net cord for Rybakina in Brisbane. Sabalenka was surprised by it, scoops the backhand up and over, and she's doubled over. I don't know if that's frustration or pain, but it's break for Rybakina for 6-love, 2-love. She's energized and ready to serve, and Sabalenka looks kind of defeated already. I'm going to be interested to see what she says after the match, whether she's not feeling well or whether
there's something about her game, I just tweeted this, that capitulates so extremely sometimes. Like when she's playing well, it kind of makes you go ooh and ah. Hi, Brady. Hey, Brady in the chat. Good to see you. But also, if she's not playing well, it can be like a runaway train running away very, very quickly. And everyone should get away from it because they don't have control over the engine or the steering, or
especially since, you know, she'll still hit some big winners even when things are going wrong.
Yeah, it'll if you just look at the high points, it looks like she's not playing that badly, but when you zoom out, she's spraying, and a 6-love, 2-love score line against you is the biggest symbol of that. Like it just kind of all goes awry really quickly. Brings you back to the Muhova meltdown and the Ons meltdown last summer.
Yeah, that's true. The 2 Grand Slam semifinals. They just flashed the serve percentages on the screen. The first serve percentages: Rybakina 79%, Sabalenka 57%.
And Coco's actually managed to create 2 break points here, and Svitolina again is looking a little lethargic. So I do think even if Coco loses some of these long points, she's winning the war. Because Svitolina is definitely not as physical as she wants to be, like she was in the first set. Coco's wearing her down, it seems.
Yeah, definitely seems to be that case. Well, we'll stick with Auckland then, because I think that's where the camera is.
Oh yeah, Svitolina hit a really, really, really nice drop shot, and Coco gets there, like she gets to mostly all the drop shots, and asks the question of Svitolina, and she misses the easy put away. Yeah, it's just tired from the longevity of the point.
Okay, so it's break point Gauff.
Break point, 2 break points Gauff, 15-40. Yay, I love how far behind my stream is. I love that for me.
Interesting points here, because Rybakina's just put a backhand into the net, and it's 30-all. She was looking fairly comfortable. She won her 2 points in this game fairly comfortably. But that backhand into the net's not going to help her. And she's actually looking frustrated, which is interesting for Rybakina to show emotion there.
Coco would be frustrated with that backhand miss off of a relatively simple serve. So she would want that back if she could get it back. It was a backhand long, which we haven't seen too many of in this match, actually.
Long backhand, because I know she's put a couple in the net.
It was very long.
Okay, first forehand into the net from Rybakina, and Sabalenka's looking at a break point here. Interesting. Okay. Rybakina's levels definitely dropped. She's made some silly errors, and she doesn't want to do that because she's got all the momentum. She doesn't want to give it up right now. A Rybakina dip was not what I was expecting. First serve into the net. Second serve here in Brisbane. Is there anything? Let me know.
Svitolina has fought back to deuce. Coco definitely with some loose points back to back.
Oh! Rybakina's put the backhand into the net, and Sabalenka's celebrating that she just won a Grand Slam. She's kissing her hand and throwing it to the crowd. We're back on serve in this second set, and Sabalenka is on the board in this match. And I think Rybakina's kind of given it to her. Interestingly, we're 18 minutes into the set. We've played 4 games in the second set, and it's 7 minutes shorter than the first.
Svitolina had game point in this. She came back from 2 break points down to get to game point, but on that game point, she just smothers a forehand, and now we're looking at another break point for Coco Gauff to go up 5-2 in this match. I haven't gotten there yet in my stream, but that's an interesting development.
Okay, we'll keep an eye on it. Anyone who might be listening, because I can't listen to the stream, obviously, I can't listen to the commentary and do this. Not safely anyway, not like Miles, who's able to keep things in his earpieces. But is the crowd very much with Rybakina in this Brisbane final? Is this why? Is she doing a Medvedev? Or is she just celebrating the fact that she's got herself back into the match? Maybe it's all about her.
Speaking of crowd, the Auckland crowd is definitely with Coco right now. I've just heard a couple of "Come on, Cocos" very loudly, so they definitely want to see a third set here in New Zealand.
Oh, the crowd's with Sabalenka. Okay. What's happening with this break point in Auckland?
Coco takes it with a wonderful crossing backhand shot off of a Svitolina drop shot that wasn't that great, but the speed is on full display, and she's up 5-2. She stretches out a little bit more. That's good to see.
Okay, so Gauff is going to be serving for that second set in a minute. Event. This change of ends in Brisbane, just to update, Sabalenka's having treatment on her knee, and Rybakina is taking the opportunity to have a long chat with her coach. Like, she's literally walked up to her box and they're just sort of chatting with each other, sort of making sure they can't be overheard. But yeah, the trainer looks like, oh no, it's Sabalenka's left thigh. It looks like it's being worked on. So yeah, so we've got medical timeout in Brisbane, despite Sabalenka being on the board. Rybakina kind of let her back into the set a little bit, to be honest, with those errors. And now she's got to keep herself. She's probably going to want to reset and use this break to do that. So I think all the tennis is happening in Auckland right now, but I'll let you know when they're back in Brisbane.
I actually think all the tennis is happening in Brisbane.
Sorry?
I think all the good tennis is happening in Brisbane, even though the scoreline doesn't look like it. Sabalenka and Rybakina matches could get very interesting very quickly, whereas I think this second set has Coco Gauff's name written all over it, and maybe the match, if the momentum stays on Coco Gauff's side, with the physicality leaning heavily towards her. So I don't know. I'd have an eye on Brisbane.
Definitely enjoying the tennis that was in the first set when I was watching that with you. Like, I was really enjoying the kind of consistent rallies from both. And they weren't pushing either. Like, there was some nice deep hitting from both. So maybe it's not full big babe tennis like Saba Rybakina, but I was still enjoying the quality and sort of the endurance of the hitting in that first set in Auckland. Not quite as breathtaking as Svitolina Raducanu for those first two sets.
Would agree.
But still pretty good watch. It
also looks like, wait, was that? Oh, maybe Tennis Channel was kind of flipping back and forth from Brisbane to Auckland, and they said a medical timeout, but I thought they meant for Svitolina, but I think they're referring to Brisbane because that makes too much sense.
It is, yeah. So Sabalenka's is still having her thigh worked on. Rybakina's kind of stretching. She's playing with her hair. She's on her feet at the minute. She's not sat down. She's trying to keep herself kind of moving, which is interesting. Just keep herself kind of energized. Looks like, there's a minute left on the MTO right now. Okay. Have you been able to fix your stream, Miles? Because I think we've got some drama happening.
No, I'm still behind for whatever wonder. I don't know why it's happening that way for me, but up to that 15:30, not at 15:40.
I mean, I'm also a point behind on mine as well, but I can't fix it. Is what it is. Like I think the only way to get a quick stream is to get Tennis TV, which doesn't show the WTA.
Love that.
Which is the WTA's fault, by the way.
Coco's serve in these crucial moments of the match has not shown up. She gets broken again. And the second serve she's putting into play, Svitolina's jumping all on them. Like, I guess that it's the fact that Coco isn't getting her first serve and is playing into the fact that Svitolina is actually tired, because she can take big cuts on these second serves. And by the time that big cut comes over to Coco Gauff's forehand, she's rushed, and we get the last point we just saw. Coco puts a forehand in the bottom of the net. So Coco just needs to get the first serve in. She needs to get the first serve in now if she wants to close out some of these matches this way. Interesting.
Draw era. Sabalenka's seen the medic, although that's now done, and she's opened this game with a wild forehand that didn't even make the tram line. Rybakina's now backhand's gone long and wide. Like, the quality of tennis has taken a bit of a dip.
Over here in Auckland too, because Coco just got broken with a double fault. So not beautiful. Not beautiful. Svitolina's going to serve at 3-5 to stay in it, but some momentum is with her. But the returner in each of these games for most of this match has been at an advantage. That's always a kind of an awkward thing sometimes, because you want to give the advantage to the person that's serving and starting off the point. But here in Auckland today, it's definitely with the returner.
Resolute net play from Sabalenka and resolute defense from Rybakina, running everything down, including an overhead that Sabalenka gave her. But at the end of the day, Sabalenka's court position was just too advantageous, and she does eventually put it away. Nice forehand mid-court, cross-court there. But yes, things are still quite wild in Brisbane right now. Matthew, I don't know if I have time to read it, to be honest, but a bit like I also don't know how you would send it to me, like maybe on Twitter, if it's send files, but like our editing team at Popcorn's pretty good, so they'll touch it up for you if you want them to. So or if you want them to give you some feedback first, I'm sure they'll do that. But yeah, if you don't know our editing team, it's Scott Barkley and Owen Lewis at Tennis Nation. I think at Barkleycard19 for Scott.
Some great writers there.
Oh yeah, Owen particularly, but I also love. Oh, they're very good for different reasons. Owen's analysis and essayism is fantastic. Scott's raw emotion reignites passion for the sport.
Would agree.
We're at 30-all in this game in Brisbane. What's happening in Auckland?
Auckland, we're at 2 set points for Coco Gauff at 15-40 on Svitolina's serve. So again, a breakers match. Kind of like I thought would happen in the first set. Coco's going to try to break to get this set underneath her belt. And they keep showing an interesting gentleman in Coco's box who I've never seen before. I don't know if he's her new hitting partner or what, but the camera is seeming to pan over to him. I guess because they're confused as I am. Because it's not Brad Gilbert. It's not, obviously, it's not Reba. I'm not sure who it is.
Interesting. Maybe Brad's not gone to Auckland.
Yeah, he definitely didn't go to Auckland, but I'm not sure who this guy is.
Who is this guy?
Who is this guy? Yeah.
Great forehand from Rybakina to hit a winner and take this game to juice. Like, absolutely brilliant. Just lines it up. That Rybakina forehand is a thing of beauty at times.
At times.
Yeah.
Svitolina is definitely taking her cuts. It's just such a tricky footing to be on, because you can tell she's not really in the best position to have long rallies. And Coco knows that, so she's trying to extend them, but part of extending it is sometimes putting a short ball in play. And when Svitolina's seeing them, she's ripping them, which is something I still haven't allowed my brain to work around. Like, Svitolina hitting out on short balls is something that I just would have never put with her style of play. Oh, hugely important net cord that goes Coco's way. Wow. Advantage Coco Gauff, set point in the second set.
We'll stay with Auckland then. I think I won't bring you any action from Brisbane. It's advantage Sabalenka anyway. Interestingly, it's 11 winners each in the match.
She's just smothering that forehand a little more than I would like.
Coco.
Yes, Coco. And she gets the second set with the Svitolina error out wide. She's going to have to find a better happy medium in how she constructs these points with Svitolina, because Svitolina seems like she's much more willing to hit out on anything short than Coco is, but she's not ready to go the distance. So that's going to be something she has to work on in this third set. But however, she is asking more questions of Svitolina by winning that second set and putting us into a third. So that's what we can all ask for. Sometimes it's not pretty out there, and I can see her saying in her post-match conference that this wasn't a pretty match, because so far it's not the prettiest.
Okay, so the quality's taken a little bit of a dip then.
It's taken a dip. It's taken a dip. Yeah.
Probably similarly here in Brisbane, we're into a long backhand rally that ends with Rybakina putting the backhand into the middle of the net at advantage Sabalenka. Ghost is asking if Coco's got a new boo, which I mean, and she referred to a mysterious boyfriend at the US Open, and I remember her fan base went into meltdown because they went into full-on parent, who is this man mode.
Yeah, they went into maybe it's Ben Shelton mode too, which that she's already confirmed he doesn't play tennis. So yeah, I don't think we'll be seeing, and I rightfully so, I don't think we'll be seeing Coco Gauff take any public stance on who her significant other is, because she's still quite young. You know,
I think that's the right thing too.
Yeah, I don't think she should be making any public stances, like I've said, on who her significant other is. She's still super young.
Sabalenka puts her forehand wide, trying to crouch super low. She's just falling on her on her backside. So great return from Rybakina on the forehand. That was just too good. Hits a winner. Advantage to Rybakina to get this break advantage again in Brisbane. So we'll stick with this because I think it's still on break in Auckland. Are there any timeouts?
Sure are. Stick with Brisbane. I'm interested in what you got for us, Nick.
Okay. Well, I was going to ask if the players have gone off court or anything in Auckland, but maybe not.
I've checked out of my stream just to see if I can get a quicker one, more up to speed.
Sabalenka's +1 backhand ended up the tram lines, and Rybakina's broken again 3-1. And she's nodding. She approves of the situation. Rybakina approves. I think that's probably the most emotion you will. Well, maybe not the most emotion, but her average level of emotion at getting herself back in front in this match. I mean, she's already in front, reinstating the distance in this match. So yeah, Brisbane, we are more or less underway already. With Rybakina serving, she does like to continue and make things quick. Second serve. Now they're trading backhands. Rybakina's just clears the net. Sabalenka goes into the tram lines. 15 love. So again, Sabalenka looking a little bit frustrated. There was again a bit of a tentative backhand from Rybakina, but Sabalenka's attempt to accelerate things was dragged wide.
I may have found an even slower stream, which is
this is not helping right now.
Not helping.
Okay, there is a possibility here that this match, even though it started almost an hour after the Rybakina Svitolina match, the Rybakina Sabalenka match, even though it started almost an hour after Gauff Svitolina, might end up finishing before it. So I might switch back. Although we are half an hour away from
the second stream I saw is definitely slower.
We are half an hour away from the United Cup final starting.
So much tennis! Yay!
Which is a good opportunity for us to come to Ghosty's question of how badly do you think Kerber will be eager, which I know he's saying is a wind up.
Ghosty.
Yeah, and then that was brilliant. Yeah, can't post that. That is brilliant. Yes, it is a bit of a
I think Kerber is taking a trip to the bakery. I'm not calling an entire bagel, but a breadstick or whatever kind of would you call a 6-2 set a croissant? If not a bagel or a breadstick, can I call it a croissant?
It's sort of squiggly, really.
They're curved like the hump in the two.
No, not really.
Unfortunately, no one's making singular two-shaped breads.
No, I think you might be in the wrong bakery for that one. So yeah, no, it's like neither of us are particularly optimistic about it. And to be honest, I think both of us would probably be backing Iga in that match as well, but for different reasons.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm just being.
Oh no, I meant from a heart perspective as well. I don't know whether your Kerber dislike has dwindled.
No. I still don't root for her in too many matches, and going up against the best player in the world doesn't give her. That's not going to change my opinion either. So, yeah, Coco was able to hold in this opening game of the third set too, so she's confidently striding to her chair.
Rybakina's held to 15 in Brisbane as well, 4-1. She's 2 games away from these Brisbane title.
That match is definitely finishing before Auckland.
I mean, let's see. I mean, it's gonna be a race. Like, you know, Rybakina did drop her level. That's how she conceded that break. For 4, which is why it's 4-1 and not 5-love right now.
You know, do you ever realize that we have more watching? More like the number of people watching is a little bit higher than the number of people we have interacting in the chat. From my standpoint, it looks like 27 people are watching us, but I can't think of 27 names that have been in the chat. So if you've been watching us and you have an opinion or a question for us, feel free to pop in the chat and let us hear from you. I think that's always the best part of these live streams. So we'd love to hear from you.
We always interact with people, whether you're members or not. Matthew thinks you're wholesome, by the way.
I think that's an interesting let me read the comment. This whole reason that I know about this community is because of Miles, and it came from recommended tweets of him getting bitterly argued with over him saying how tired he was of Novak Djokovic winning. I mean, I think, I don't know if wholesome is the best word to describe me, but I am authentic. Like, sometimes too authentic for Twitter. I have my opinions, and I try not to have overly aggressive, tremendously off base opinions, but ultimately my opinions are what they are, and I try to share them with the community that I think would be interested in them, and they're not always received by all of this world.
Twitter is all about opinions, and
yeah,
the thing is, though, if everyone agreed with you, they wouldn't be opinions.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, you seem to have fallen out with the entire Iga Swiatek fan base,
which is so funny because I talked to you, Nick, like, and you love Iga.
I know. I don't know whether I've blotted my copybook with them because I'm friends with you.
But hopefully you can. I mean, I've been thinking about just unblocking everybody that I've ever blocked on Twitter, just because I've built up enough thick skin to where even if you say something crazy, I can just literally ignore it instead of pressing the block button. We'll see if I do that.
I've literally only ever blocked one Twitter account.
It has to be pretty extreme for you to block them, that I'm guessing, right?
Yes, it has to be. They are very deeply unpleasant.
Yes. Sometimes I'm just like, if I see a profile picture of a clock and something disrespectful in my mentions, blocked. Because like, if there was an actual person, I can maybe be like, oh, they seem like a reasonable person, then maybe that's different. But if it gives off like you're a random troll on the internet, then me going back and forth with you is usually a waste of time. But I'm trying to curtail that because I don't want to block all of the people that could potentially, engage in my commentary. So,
ladies and gentlemen, Sabalenka's held to love. That's her first service hold in this match, and she seals it with a +1 backhand up the line winner. That's class. The Sabalenka we know and love is back.
Look at that.
Although we've just played an hour of this match, by the way.
Right.
It's been 12 games in an hour, and it's 6-love 4-2. Rybakina's just forced an error from Sabalenka on the forehand. Tight moment in Auckland?
Not a huge point. It looks like something's going on with Svitolina's ankle brace, circling back to something we were talking about earlier. It looks like she's walked to the chair and has taken her shoe off. So something's happening.
Who's taking their shoe off?
Svitolina is. Svitolina.
Is it the ankle brace?
It's the same. It's the ankle brace. Maybe it needs to be readjusted. Maybe something. I'm not sure if a trainer's coming out yet, but it seems like one would if she's sitting down.
And this is mid-game?
This is mid-game. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So that's not looking good for Svitolina. Yeah, maybe her physical things.
Yeah, the ankle brace is off. She's taking the sock off as well. So the trainer must be coming.
And she's had that since Cincinnati as well.
Yeah. Yep. Now I see the trainer running to Svitolina's aid. Okay.
Well, Svitolina was going to be in my power rankings, so I'll have to see whether she's going to stay
She does have some tape on some of her toes too, so maybe it's a blister that she's feeling.
Oh, maybe then. Yeah.
Or,
That would make sense. Yeah, because that would make sense if she's taking her shoe off.
yeah. Shoe and soccer are both off. I don't know. Hopefully it's nothing serious.
Hopefully not, but we don't want to disrupt that match. Well, in which case we've got a medical timeout. We'll go to Brisbane, which we see Elena Rybakina hitting a forehand winner to go to 40-15 up in this game. Looking very composed out there right now. Don't want to jinx it. Don't want to commentators curse it. But huge forehand from Rybakina. And again, like that power and placement combo is working today.
I'm still giggling at me being wholesome.
Yeah, there's probably about half of Twitter probably wouldn't say that.
Oh, there's some people on Twitter that absolutely hate my guts. But I mean, that's life. You can't, everybody's not going to love you.
No, exactly. Rybakina drags a forehand wide, 40-30. Are all of Talking? Sean's asking if all of Talking Tennis on Twitter. Yeah, actually, I think we all are. Not all of us are super active. So, like Tom, I don't think is super active. Miles and I are fairly active, but yeah, I think we are. We're all on Twitter.
X, formerly known as Twitter.
Yeah, the app formerly known as Twitter is what I call it. Backhand up the middle of the court from Sabalenka is long in a rally, and it's game Rybakina. They're going to change ends with Rybakina leading 5-2 in the set, but she is a game away from winning the title in Brisbane.
I like that extended grunt she just had, even though the ball was really out. That sounded just like me when I'm playing.
Oh, you switched streams?
Tennis Channel did. I didn't switch streams. This is the beauty of that.
To answer your question, Ghosty, people who hate Miles, as far as I can tell, are the Novak Djokovic fan base, the Iga Swiatek fan base, and there's one more that I can't think of.
Don't think too hard, Nick. That's enough.
The entirety of Gen Z.
Of who?
Gen Z.
Who's Gen Z? Oh, Gen Z.
The Gen Z. Yeah.
I love Gen Z. Okay, we're gonna take
the Gen Z. Okay, the Gen Z fangirls.
Because the Gen Z fangirls are littered in between the Swiatek and Djokovic fans.
Yeah, they are. Basically, I think it was when you went on a bit of a rant about anonymous accounts and like what they were saying and like, and people took offense at how you were criticizing their use of Twitter. Yeah,
if I can walk that back, I wouldn't say I have a problem with Gen Z fans at all. I actually encourage more Gen Z audience to watch tennis. It's just that sometimes I find that the 17, 18, 19-year-olds are the most emblazoned to kind of say the most disrespectful things on Twitter. So that's what I mean by that. But I actually really love Gen Z being fans of tennis.
Sport's going to die without them.
Yeah, of course.
But Brady's saying he's had his first interaction online with a Djokovic fan. I mean, they're not all bad.
With an event, no, they're not all bad. It's just there are some that are you can't tell if their whole entire existence is this internet trolling of Novak Djokovic non-supporters, and those are the ones that I ultimately block because they go from. Sometimes
it goes from 0 to 100.
It goes from you disagreeing with my opinion, which is completely fine, to you disrespecting me because of my opinion, which is where I have a problem. But you know,
I feel like I've heard rumors that Rafa Fam is similar, but I've never annoyed them, so I've never found out.
Yeah. Oh well, Matthew, just keep pushing the agenda that I am wholesome. Okay, just keep doing that.
Yeah, we have your new hype man. Yeah. So yeah,
I'll take it.
In Brisbane, it's 15-all in this game. Are we still in the medical in Auckland?
We still are. Looks like Svitolina is putting back on her socks and an ankle brace, and Coco's just trying to stay loose in the backcourt.
Oh, backhand from Sabalenka is wide. 15-30. Rybakina is 2 points away from the title. She was yeah, she tried to accelerate through the backhand, and yeah, Sabalenka's head's dropping a bit. Rybakina's sensing that she can finish this off. Finishing off this match.
Brisbane is such a nice watch, by the way. That court is beautiful. The court in the stadium is absolutely beautiful. Pat Rafter should be, if I was Pat Rafter and I had walked into that stadium named after me, I'd be a happy camper. That's for sure.
Yeah, there you go. You should be proud. Probably, although Rod Laver will probably keep on saying that his stadium's bigger. Oh, huge forehand winner up the line from Sabalenka, 30-all. Playing with the lines a bit, but she got it.
How old would Arthur Ashe be if he was alive right now? I think he would love his stadium too.
Oh, yeah, he would. Yeah, but I'm talking about players who are still alive.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Arthur Ashe would be... I don't know why I'm looking this up. He was born on 10th of July 1943. So, yeah, he would have turned 70 last year.
Wow, he should still be here. That's young enough to still present trophies.
That's why AIDS sucks.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, 40-30 for Sabalenka.
The last I heard of Pat Rafter, by the way, he was coaching Wang Qiang, but she hasn't been active on tour in over a year, so I'm not sure who he's coaching right now.
I don't think he is coaching anyone. I mean, I don't even know Wang Qiang's still playing. I think she might have retired.
She's definitely inactive. So,
yeah, I think she's retired. Oh, Sabalenka's got the game, by the way. So Rybakina's going to have to serve this one out, 5-3, and this set's taken 45 minutes. She's already taken twice the length of set one.
Coco generated a break point very quickly after Svitolina came back from that medical timeout, but she just smacked a forehand past Coco to take away break point. The way she is hitting these ground strokes is very impressive, whether she wins this tournament or not. I have to say that Svitolina, yeah, I have to say that I'm growing a lot of respect for the way that she's shifted her mindset, because she would have never hit a screaming forehand winner on a break point against her 4 years ago. She would have never done that.
No, she wouldn't have. But then that timeout and coming and sort of that building her fitness back up after the pregnancy was probably a great opportunity to change her game up a bit.
And believe in the aggressiveness and believe that can actually take you far. Yeah, it's something.
Rybakina's come into net and finishes with a nice backhand volley into space. 15-love. 3 points away from the Brisbane title. Elena Rybakina. Which is, I think, a title that she's tried to win before and didn't quite manage it.
Sabalenka has?
No, Rybakina.
Did she get close to a semi or a final or something?
I'm pretty sure she got to a final at Rybakina a few years ago.
Oh, that was Adelaide, because Brisbane hasn't been in the rotation for a couple of years. Excuse me, sorry. Brisbane hasn't been competed since 2020.
Oh, my mistake.
But I do remember that because that was the last WTA match that Ash Barty played and won, was the Adelaide final. And she went on to win Australia.
Was it? Oh, yeah, the Adelaide final 2022, yeah. I mean, yeah, Barty was unstoppable that Australian summer. Did she even drop a set that whole summer? She definitely didn't drop a set in the Australian Open. No, the only person to take a set off Ash Barty in Australia, the country of Australia 2022, was Coco Gauff in the opening round of Adelaide.
She can hang her head on that, I guess. Like, hey, I took a head off of Ash Barty. I took a set off of Ash Barty.
Rock volley winner from Elena Rybakina to move to 2 match points, 2 championship points in Brisbane. Are you ready for this, Miles? Here we go.
I am.
Looks like Gauff's held for 2-1 in Auckland.
She has.
All the attention's going to be on Brisbane right now. Championship point, Elena Rybakina.
I just want to see what her celebration is, if there is any.
Serves out wide, so close to being in, but just misses it. So we've got a second serve. She looked like thought she might have won, but she's reset for second serve, goes up the tee. Sabalenka adjusts, goes for a blazing return, but it's just wide. And Elena Rybakina doesn't celebrate. She just walks to the net with a smirk on her face. smiles, embraces Sabalenka, gives her a hug. And now the smiles come out. She's not one for fist pumping or raising her hands, but you can see.
I think the wipe of sweat with that wristband is now her signature. It has to be her signature because she did it for Wimbledon, Indian Wells, Rome. She didn't have the opportunity to do it, but now Brisbane, she wins and she just wipes the sweat off of her top lip. Yeah, maybe that's the thing.
I think it takes a while for it to sink in, right? Like maybe she's still kind of in competition mode, and then she just relaxes and allows herself to enjoy the moment because like now she's definitely smiling right now. She's loving life.
Yeah, she's literally the first person in 2024 in the winner's circle, so that must feel good.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, yeah, first champion of 2024.
Whoop, whoop.
So yeah, well done. Wow, finishes in time for us to keep up with other tennis going on around as well, because the United Cup final starts in about 7 minutes, although I doubt the players will be on court for another sort of 20 minutes, half an hour between.
If John is watching this, or if John is watching this back, the next segment that you put together should be named, "Is this the year of Elena Rybakina?"
It could be.
Because I mean, she wins the first trophy of the year, so it could be. Yeah.
Yeah, actually.
I wouldn't be in love with it, I have to be honest.
If Barty 2022, Sabalenka 23, sure. I'd be here for that as well.
Wait, wasn't it an Iga 2022?
Well, Iga, it was the year of Iga in 2022, but Barty won the opening.
Oh, okay. We're being Australia specific. We're
talking the whole season.
Yeah.
Then yeah, Iga. It was the year of Iga in 2022, but Barty would be the massive asterisk over that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I don't think she goes on a 37 match win streak if Ash Barty is not retired. So
I think she still does, because Barty wasn't super consistent, and I think Iga favors Clay more than Barty, and I think if they played in Madrid, it would have been a different story. But I definitely think the rest of the season Barty would have reassessed it.
Who knows? Because Ash Barty wasn't super successful in that U.S. Open tournament too many times. So who knows? Yeah, that's something to think about.
Yeah, maybe. So I think
how is my stream moving backwards? Like, what is going on?
I will switch mine to Auckland now because
what's going on? My gosh.
I will switch mine to Auckland because I don't need to see necessarily the trophy ceremony, and I can't listen to Aryna's runner-up speech, which would be it's going to be a highlight, unless of course she's in a bad mood. So Swiatek first. So yeah, we are about to start another stream, by the way, in 5 minutes for Swiatek versus Kerber, which will be brought to you by Jack and Damien, two of the finest tennis minds there are. And I'm not exaggerating. Like combined analysis would probably is probably the best you would see out there. If you threw Vance in the mix, you'd be in galaxy brain mode after about 5 minutes. So yeah, I've just switched over and it's 2-2 between Gauff and Svitolina as my stream now starts buffering.
My stream hasn't buffered as much as maybe Tennis Channel has this on a 15-second delay to make sure Svitolina doesn't curse or something like this. I don't know. I have no idea. But I just saw the end of that point, and now we're at 2-2. So
yeah. Matthew saying 2 hours until Rublev takes the Hong Kong title. I mean, most people are favoring him over Risivori.
I think Matthew is a huge Rublev fan, as he should be. Rublev is a good person to be a fan of. However, I would not be upset if Risivori gets his first ATP title. I like Risivori.
Big backhand from Svitolina, which would be a winner if Gauff hadn't got a frame on it, but there was no hope of Coco getting the rest of her racket on it. That was a great shot from Svitolina to go love 15 in this game at 2-2.
Coco needs to be careful because now Svitolina is a little bit of a wounded animal. Like, she's definitely a little bit more ginger on her ankle than she was before that timeout. So Coco can't really give her too many easy shots to just tee off on, because she's proven that if she has a short ball, she's taking on the forehand and she's giving it a ride. So Coco's
unreturnable serve plus a serve plus 1 forehand winner from Coco to go to 30-15. We are going to be covering the Brisbane final as well, Runa versus Dimitrov, and that's going to be with Tom and Mario, who I think will bring a lot of great enthusiasm to that match. So yeah, if you're more interested in those matches, by all means, switch over. But if you want to stick with us to see what happens with Coco Gauff, please do.
Do not switch over. How dare you?
Oh yeah, Coco Gauff's where it's at right now. They're into a long rally at the minute. Gauff loops a forehand up to the Svitolina backhand, which goes up the line, and that is a winner. And Svitolina roars 30-all. So basically, every single point in this game, even though it's 30-all, has been positive points. It's been won by a player taking the initiative.
Yeah, that was a great backhand on the line from Elina.
Okay, so that's similar.
Yeah, especially with Coco hitting some pace on her backhand herself. That was a great backhand exchange.
Ace from Coco Gauff, 40-30. She's fist pumping. She's loving that. This set's looking a little bit more competitive again.
Definitely compared to the beginning part to the second set. Definitely a lot more energy being put out there on the court.
So would you say the end of the second set was competitive?
Yes. Beginning, middle, not so much. It was lacking something. Svitolina started to look a little gassed, and she finally got it together. And now she looks like she has a pretty good grasp on the physicality of the match. So definitely interesting to see what happens in the next 20 to 30 minutes in this match.
So whatever the issue was with the foot, the medical timeouts definitely helped. Huge inside out forehand from Svitolina. Winner, deuce.
See, it helped.
Yeah. Saying, Matthew's saying he thinks the people who are sort of not necessarily wanting to chat with us is because they're sort of sitting in meetings. We were sitting in meetings where I'm like, I'm sorry, what time is it in the world where you could be working on a Sunday?
Australia.
What time is it?
Let's see.
I think it's kind of late afternoon, evening. So
in Adelaide it is. It's 4:35. That's okay. I mean, depending on what you do, 4:35 on a Sunday evening, you could be working at a desk, maybe, possibly.
Maybe if you're a workaholic. Okay, so we had a backhand winner from Gauff, followed by a forehand into the net from Svitolina. First unforced error of the game after a very high quality game, but Gauff does hold 3-2.
All right, Coco. She's just cutting it a little too close, but I have to keep reminding myself that this is a Svitolina 2.0, and I keep expecting Coco to just run away from it, but I don't think this is going to be that kind of match. And I've kind of just gotten used to Coco Gauff running away from matches because that's what she's done all week. But Svitolina is a different kettle of fish. So
yeah, I mean, no offense to previous opponents, but yeah, not quite the same.
None of those players have been top 5 or Wimbledon semifinalists, US Open semifinalists. So yeah, definitely a step up.
The only other opponent to have broken Gauff's serve this week was Claire Liu.
And Brenda Fravitova. I think she took a break off of her. Yeah.
Have you watched all of Coco's matches this week?
Yeah, I've had an eye on all of them pretty much. Except I don't think I watched much of Navarro, the semifinal. That actually should have been the one I watched the most of because I'm interested to see what Emma Navarro does this year.
Yeah, because Navarro's in an interesting place. She's going to be seeded in Australia.
She's going to be, especially when you consider the fact that Madison Keys is not playing, Benches is pregnant, Kvitova is pregnant. Those are
seeded without the
she's going to be in the 20s now, which is insane.
And it's her Australian Open debut. Like she's kind of snuck up on me because I hadn't realized how high her climb up the rankings had been. Like I knew she was good. I'd seen her play, but I hadn't realized that she'd climbed up high enough to be seeded.
Yeah, she's something, that's for sure.
So she's on my dark horse list right now for the Australian Open. Not to win it, but to maybe make a deep run.
Yeah, I can see a third or fourth round in her future.
Yeah.
Maybe even a quarter. Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, like given the right draw, she could definitely make it and pull off an upset against the seed. Not a top 4 seed, but any other seed. Well, obviously she is seeded, but like get to a third, fourth round against someone higher ranked, and then someone's like, "Oh, hello, Emma Navarro." By the way, Svitolina has just won the first opening point of this game with a forehand volley that she's very, very happy about.
Yeah, maybe she should be happy because most of the times that Svitolina has actually brought Coco into net, she hasn't won those points. Coco's speed has definitely been a highlight in the forecourt.
Gauff forehand in play. Forehand from Gauff up the line. That's a winner. Really well placed forehand from Gauff with the spin kicking it too far away from Svitolina, and it's 15 all.
I'm laughing at
that is a fantastic quote from Sabalenka. She gives the best speeches in tennis. Love her. Great return from Gauff. Return from Gauff is long, just over the baseline, 30-15. What? Okay, there's a poll apparently. I don't know what the poll is, but maybe it's who's going to win this match. Huge return from Gauff, who gets the forehand up the line into play. Backhand Svitolina cross court, up high. Backhand Gauff, putting Svitolina under pressure. Gauff tries to get up the line with the backhand, but puts it into the high part of the net. 40-15. There was a chance there from Gauff, but she didn't have enough height on that ball to make that up the line work.
That would have been a great down the line backhand, though.
Yeah, just wasn't enough height on it, really, at all. That's the risk of going up the line, really, on any shot, but particularly the backhand, which is probably going to be flatter. Svitolina is going to have to reset for a first serve. She served a let 40-15 for the Ukrainian to keep this tiebreaker pretty close. Fault from Svitolina on the first serve. Very, very long first serve. The Adidas clad Ukrainian gets ready to serve. Middle of the box. Gauff gets the backhand into play. Forehand back towards Gauff. They're trading forehands now. Svitolina goes up the line with a forehand. Blazing winner. Game 2, Svitolina. 3-all. Is this third set officially close? Is this match officially tight now?
Yes, tight. 3-all, third set doesn't get much tighter than that unless you're in 4-all, 5-all territory, and that's even tighter. So, yeah, the next 10, 15 minutes are crucial.
It's only going to get tighter from here.
Only going to get tighter.
I think, the only way the set goes 6-3 now is if, Gauff breaks Svitolina's next service game or Gauff loses a double break. Which Gauff's under a lot of pressure in this game as she's running up all around the court. Svitolina tries to pick Gauff off, and she does at the net. Love 15. No, it wasn't. Svitolina's backhand was long. And it's 15 love. Yeah, Gauff was all over the court. Svitolina
was just long. She missed it. Wow.
That's going to be frustrating because she had Gauff right where she wanted her. Just could. I think that volley was trickier than I first thought. I don't know what you think about that, Miles. I think it was a tricky volley.
She was a little lackadaisical with it. She was.
Yeah, she didn't execute as well as she could have. Gauff's doing well to put her under pressure on this point, moving around court, and then finished it with a forehand up the line winner from mid-court, 30 love.
That's a better forehand from Coco right there. To set up that put away one, that was a much better forehand.
That's a US Open forehand.
Yep.
Yeah. Best AO. Matthew thinking we're going to have the best AO we've had in many years. I'm assuming he's thinking across men's and women's. I would say last year's AO was last year's AO was pretty flat up until the final, which was amazing.
Yeah, would agree.
This year, there's definitely it's all going to be around following the top 4. So it could be very similar, but then the semi-finals could be very, very good if all the top 4 make it.
Yeah, the men's, almost the entirety of the men's AO last year was a snooze fest, and the women's got a big jolt with that final. So hopefully much is better all the way around.
Yeah. Backhand into play from Svitolina on the return. It was a very good return. They both going for their backhands. Gauff's misheard, though, cross court, 40-15. Okay, I'm going to say this now. I think the most interesting possible semi-final lineup for the Australian Open, because based on what the seedings would be Sabalenka, Gauff, Swiatek, Rybakina.
Of course, yeah. Or any variation of that. I actually think Swiatek Rybakina and Sabalenka Gauff would be just as entertaining.
That's what I said.
No, I thought you said you.
I said Swiatek, Rybakina,
I
Sabalenka
thought,
Gauff.
I thought you said Swiatek Gauff.
No, Swiatek, Rybakina.
Well, Swiatek Gauff in the semifinal.
Sabalenka Gauff, which is probably.
I misheard.
It's the one way round.
I misheard.
Yeah. No, that is the better way round. Whereas I think if you had Sabalenka Rybakina, that would be good, but it would. But Swiatek Gauff, there's that matchup issue.
And I'm not sure would I prefer to have a Gauff Iga matchup in the final or the semifinal. I'm not sure. Ghosty's talking about my pronunciation again.
I mean, look, it's better than it was before. At least no one's saying Swiatek. Which
I've never said that. That doesn't sound right. Swiatek, but Swiatek.
John's saying you don't want Iga in a final. You probably don't, unless you are Sabalenka or
Krejcikova. Yeah.
Or Ostapenko
or Polona Hercog.
I think although Ostapenko and Rybakina haven't met Iga in a final yet, I think they would be a mega threat.
I don't think so.
Really?
Wait, say that one more time.
Ostapenko has never lost to Iga.
No, never at any level. No.
So that would be unstoppable force meeting a movable object if he was playing Iga in a final. And then Rybakina, outside of clay, has a good matchup with Iga.
And even on clay, if Iga is not feeling it, like she wasn't really feeling it in Rome that day, things get tricky. Sean, I promise you I'm not mispronouncing her name on purpose.
It's the best he can do, and I'm going to take it. They're trading forehands at the minute in Auckland, and Gauff's gone along with hers. 15 love, Svitolina. I don't think the players are out on court yet in... apparently the players have arrived on court in the ATP final in Brisbane, but they're not on court yet in Sydney for the United Cup final.
So much tennis, man. So much tennis.
So much tennis indeed. I am probably going to tune in for Runa Dimitrov after this match is finished because everyone knows I am way more interested in the WTA.
Which is a great place to be interested, I think. We take our hits, but we keep on going. They may make it hard for us to watch and hard to market, but we are there for the WTA in the trenches.
I'm here for the WTA market. I am the WTA marketing team.
I almost tweeted earlier, like, they should pay me.
Yeah, you do way more to market the WTA than I think
they do.
It's between you and Sabine the Zicki fans on YouTube. For backhand up the line winner from Coco Gauff for 15-all, by the way. So she's looking pretty determined here. Svitolina may be under a little bit of pressure in this game. First serve the net. I do have some, there is someone on Twitter who is currently campaigning for me to be the new CEO of the WTA. I'm not entirely sure that would be a popular move. Backhand in play from Svitolina at the middle of the court, which goes long, and it's 15-30, and there's an opportunity for Coco Gauff here.
Definitely a window of opportunity.
I think Svitolina has challenged this call, but I think it's going to be long.
Yeah, that'll be long.
Yeah,
that's if that dropped
it looked very long. Mario and John will be with us shortly on the Brisbane stream for Dimitrov Runa. But of course, we've got and of course, I don't know whether the United Cup stream started yet, but hey, we are here, guys.
We got you covered. We got you covered.
Live streams across all of Talking Tennis. Backhand from Gauff, really great backhand. But Svitolina picks it up. Gauff hits the forehand into space. Svitolina is running everything down, but is so far out of court. She has no hope of running down that backhand from Coco Gauff, and she's got 2 break points to take full control of this match.
Yeah, that was a great point.
She's led this match before because she was up a break twice in the first set. Has been playing catch up since.
She was at 5-3. So if she breaks now and goes up 5-3 and serves for it, hopefully it doesn't creep back and she starts thinking about that, because she should have put that first set away right there.
Does that mean that she's been at 5-3 in every single set?
Pretty much.
But we're not there yet. Backhand from Gauff to the Svitolina forehand, which is long. It's looping and long, and it's game Gauff, who she's now going to serve for the title in Auckland. So there we go.
Coco's coming for it.
Coco is coming for 5-3 after a 40-minute third set. I mean, I will say this. Didn't she get broken serving for the second as well at 5-2?
That may be, yeah, that's true. That is true.
She's been broken serving for the sets.
If you're a Svitolina fan, you're kind of happy right now, I guess. in the context of this match, there's still hope.
Do we have any Svitolina fans in chat, or are you all Coco fans? Great drop shot from Coco Gauff that Svitolina can't run down to start this game. 15 love. Coco might be going into champion mode right now.
Oh, that was a cutesy little drop shot that I don't think she meant to make it so tight.
It was a little bit risky, that one.
Yeah, it was. She must have been watching some Serena matches in Auckland, because Serena had a couple of those when she won Auckland a few years back that I was like, I don't think she meant to cut it that close, but it worked.
Svitolina's challenged a serve that was called good, and she's now doubled over.
That's a little late. She should have.
No, she's challenging her shot that was called out, and it.
Oh, okay. Because the serve, she played it.
Yeah,
she played the serve like normal, didn't try to challenge it. Interesting.
I thought it would be the serve because I didn't think that shot was clearly out. Why would she challenge it?
Yeah, very out. I think maybe she could want a breather.
Gauff's backhand into the net, 30-15. Yeah, maybe she. Yeah, I think you're right. She was trying to give herself a breather there. Ladies and gentlemen, we are. Ladies and gentlemen, it's 30-15. For Gauff. I'm not. I know what you're chuckling at. I'm not getting involved. Yeah, but hey, I'm not surprised if you're American. You're backing Coco Gauff. 30-all, by the way. Was that a Svitolina winner or error? I looked away from the screen for the wrong point.
No, that was a Coco Gauff error.
Oh,
yeah.
First return in play from Svitolina on the forehand. Now running on the down the backhand. Gauff backhand up the line. Svitolina's scrabbling the forehand into play. Gauff's going to accelerate through the forehand, but Svitolina reaches it, bounces in. Gauff, oh my word, that backhand, it just missed the tram line. It just missed the sideline, and Svitolina has break point, 30-40. She was being moved around all over the place. She's doubled over. She's physically struggling, but somehow she's got break point to keep herself in this match.
She looks like she's limping a little bit too. Wow.
I think Svitolina's willing herself to keep going at this point. And maybe she'll give herself an opportunity. Gauff has now break point down again while trying to serve it out in this match. Wide on the first serve.
History's not on her side in the context of this match. She's been at 5-3 before and hasn't closed the deal.
Svitolina's stepping in on the return. I thought the second serve might be long, but they're keeping going with it. Inside out forehand. Svitolina's missed it. She's missed it and she's frustrated. She had it there. She was aiming for the big inside outer and missed it. Deuce.
Wow. She'd want that back. She did miss it. Hand over mouth. Dang.
Oh, yeah, that was there. I don't know if Coco would have run it down, but it would have been a really tricky shot for Coco, even if she got to it. Great serve from Coco out wide, and that's too good. Svitolina can't return it in court, and now Coco Gauff has a match point on her serve. Great serve from Gauff. High risk on the first serve, but it worked.
Her serve out wide with the slice is actually getting better and better over time.
That's going to... maybe let's see what we get. So first serve in. Svitolina puts it in the net on the return, and Coco Gauff roars. She is the champion in Auckland once again. She's defended her title. She is going to book her trip to New Zealand next year. And she is in contention, and another AO contender wins a match. That's 2 out of 3.
Coco Gauff is an Auckland Open champion once again. And I love to see it.
She's holding up 2 fingers in celebration. She is the queen of Auckland.
Oh, I was like, wonder why is she holding up 2? Okay, but she's won twice.
2 Auckland titles. Yeah.
2 Auckland titles. Good job, Coco.
I mean, That was a scrappy win.
Yeah, I was thinking that would be the way I would describe it. It was a scratchy match. They definitely had some wonderful moments in between some of the scratches, and I'm still wondering who this young man is with New Balance apparel on in her box that I've never seen before. But overall, that is a great match. That was her first set ever dropped in Auckland, and she took it in stride and beat her opponent on the day. Svitolina definitely gave her a lot to handle and was the highest opponent that she had faced all week, and she dealt with it accordingly and takes first trophy of the year and put some nice earrings in before the trophy presentation. I don't know if that's sponsor related or not, but
It looks
nice.
like it must be, because that looks like some kind of logo.
Yeah.
They are already engraving something. We can see the engraver in action for this. So, I bet you. No, I don't know if it's a sponsor thing. It looks like a Maori thing, maybe.
A what thing?
Maori, like New Zealand, native New Zealander.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Like indigenous people symbol.
So, Melbourne musings. Do you think this means something for Coco going into Australia? Maybe more than what it meant last year?
I think she needed it to confirm herself as a contender, because obviously she needs to beat the competition in front of her. We know that she's one of the top 4. We know that really the only people who could stop her are the other members of the top 4 in the WTA. Maybe Jessie Pegula, given the matchup, but she's put away Svitolina. It's a good start. I think she just needs to give herself the momentum but I think the main reason that she's a contender is more on the strength of what happened on the North American hard courts more than here. I think if she wasn't a US Open champion, it'd be about the same.
Okay.
That's more what I'm saying. But like, context is key, right? Last year when she won the tournament, we were like, when's she going to break through and win big titles?
I think now that she knows she can play on a quick hard court and lift the trophy, not only just contend, I think that makes her a big threat at Australia. Australia is where she's gotten some of her best wins. The follow-up to that Wimbledon run to the 4th round in 2019 was followed a couple months later with a win over Naomi Osaka in the 3rd round. So yeah, she can play there. She can play in Australia. I don't think it is necessarily where her game is the place that shines the brightest. I think the natural surfaces allow her athleticism to kind of shine, but she should be in anybody's power rankings and anybody's top 5 as potential Australian Open champions, I think. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, you would be mad not to do that. I can fully see Gauff as a potential Aussie Open champion. Right. I think we're kind of in agreement on that. I think also Svitolina set herself up as for having a decent run in Australia, depending on her draw quarterfinals.
I think it's possible. I think she can definitely upset a seed higher than her and see where she goes. Svitolina is playing the best tennis and most aggressive tennis I've ever seen from her. So if she keeps that up, there's going to be only a select amount of people that actually can take her out with any level of ease. And she's a fighter, so I don't think she's going to go out quietly to anybody.
And Gauff didn't take her out with ease in this final. Let's be honest.
Agreed. Yeah, it was a fight. It was a scrap. So,
all right. So there we go. So Coco Gauff is the Auckland champion. Elena Rybakina is the Brisbane champion. Obviously, you didn't see that match, but it was I can tell you
bits and pieces.
There was. I can tell you my summary of that match was it was a combination of mostly Sabalenka having a really bad day, but also Rybakina had one lapse game on her serve, and other than that, looked absolutely imperious. Like everything was working. So bit of combination of Sabalenka kind of getting down on herself really, and Rybakina not budging. So thoughts on that result, even though you didn't see it?
I'm happy for Rybakina. I think that sets her up for a good hard court swing through to March. She should feel like she has confidence under her belt. I think it's a good way to kind of relaunch into the new year, because the end of the season was filled with some scratchy play and some just being uncomfortable with some of the WTA decisions, and she was voicing those pretty publicly. So to come out and get a victory, especially the victory over Sabalenka in that manner, I think that's a good indication of where she is in headspace and in game level. So happy for her, and hope she can bring some of that same level to Australia and see what happens, because we know she can play there too.
Oh, for sure. And I think she feels like she is maybe owed an Australian Open title, given how well she played in the final last year and
Just a little
came
bit.
up just short. Yeah, Aryna, maybe do we hit the panic button on Aryna yet, or do we just say it was just a bad day?
There's something about the way things can go haywire that makes me nervous and gives me a little bit of pause. I think against most of the field, even if she does these days go a little haywire, she can stabilize. But in the upper echelon, they're not letting her get away with that. Her peers in the top 4 and top 5 are just not going to allow her to really put in stinkers and still make it a competitive match. So I'm not concerned for her unless she comes up against a Swiatek or Pagula or Rybakina again. So
Okay. Well, I guess yeah, I guess we'll have to see. But yeah, it does hit alarm bells, and I agree with you. I think it's top 10 or top 10 potential that are her real sticking points right now. Because like that Keys semi-final she turned around, Keys is top 20.
and that wasn't even a clunker. That was Keys playing out of her mind. And she still find a way. But again, Keys is not top 10 A+ caliber at the moment in her career. So, you know.
Yeah, she could be, but not this time. And obviously she's not playing Australia either, but that's due to injury. So we're in an interesting place now. I wasn't expecting a beatdown by Rybakina. That's definitely good, I think. And the way she's won it is making me look at her and go, I think this might be her year.
And that's a potential champion, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially with a straight sets win, a couple of straight sets win over the world number 1 in Iga, and coming in off of the heels of a title in Brisbane, a WTA 500 at that. Yeah, she might be the one to beat, barring a magnificent showing by Iga against Kerber right now. So,
all right. Well, talking of Iga Kerber, I'm going to go watch that. We've got a Talking Tennis stream up for that with Jack and Damien. Hopefully you are enjoy that if you can't follow live. The Brisbane final, the guys are just warming up, but I want to say thanks everyone for jumping in and sharing your thoughts, and thanks Ghosty for entertaining us as always. Thank you Miles for your keeping us up to date in Auckland and for your excellent analysis, and looking forward to doing this again.
Always. Can't wait to talk to you again, my friend.
Yeah. All right. And I can't wait to talk to all of you as well. So go and enjoy the other streams we've got. Pick which one you want to do. I'll probably see you again on the channel for WTA Weekly. But everyone, until then, take care and keep talking tennis.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.